Alright, looks like we're good to go on YouTube and Twitch. If you're just joining us, we haven't started the show yet. We usually like to BS before the show starts, about 5 minutes away from kickoff. Eric, how was your week, man?
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, not too bad, not too sad. Alright, we're good there. Let me see if anybody's in chat yet. I highly doubt it. Just us. We're in chat. Yay. Yay us. Lots to talk about on the show today. I got some more information. I know Breakman and I have argued about corporate taxes and taxes in general before, but so today's going to be a little interesting, and then I'm going to put a cap on this topic for a good long while. Corporations have been taking advantage of Americans for quite a bit of time now, even more surprising than what I thought. And it's time to delve into that and put a capper on that. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about a lot of video game stuff. I know Reggie Fils-Aimé is retiring, so we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about, you know, quite a few stories today. So hang in there and we'll get the show started properly in a minute. How's the weather there, Eric?
Better than it's been. It's not snowing, although it's been kind of on and off.
Yeah. Well, that's
we
good.
get more frost than we get snow lately.
Yeah, it's really overcast. Ooh, shit, it just started to snow, as I said. Holy shit, this is going to be a bad one. I'm looking out the window now, and it wasn't snowing all day. It was real overcast, but not a lot of snow. So there's that. It's been cold for sure. I'm usually warm here in Colorado, even when it snows and stuff, because the sun usually shines through, and you know, as long as the sun is out, you're good. It's not like out east where you're at, Eric, where if it snows and it's cold, it's just fucking bone-chilling cold, you know. But lately it's been pretty fucking cold. So if you're listening in chat, or if you're listening on the archives or on YouTube or whatever, drop us a line at RPGrinders. Tell us what the weather's like at your neck of the woods. So what do you got? What do you got that's interesting today, Eric, before we delve into this thing called RPGrinders?
And you also got stinkos about Christians trying to guilt people into getting abortion or avoiding abortions.
Oh man, this is a never-ending topic as well. That's going to be I can't say it's going to be fun, but it'll be something for sure.
Also, I got reviews for one really dumb movie and one really just so movie, I guess.
All right, cool.
I mean, it's not a bad movie, but like Gundam Unicorn wasn't exactly the greatest UC Gundam series.
Yeah,
it was entertaining, but like it also wasn't terribly great either.
Yeah. I also have a review. Bulletstorm finally is going to get the full review treatment from me. I think, Eric, you've already done a review on Bulletstorm. You've been at me for years to seems like years. It probably has been years to get on that bandwagon, and I'm glad I finally got around to it.
I need to finish it. I never finished it.
Yeah. It looks like Break is going to be running a little late because of traffic. But no worries, we'll go ahead and get the show started here in a couple minutes, and we'll get him in when we can. Let me go ahead and respond to him. Get you in. All right, but yeah, so it's going to be interesting. A lot of topics to talk about today. Well, Eric, I want to run through the news really quick because I really want to talk about those topics and more. Let's see what else I got. Yeah, got some stuff. So we'll get there. All right.
I also want to talk about another project I want to do.
Oh, cool. That'll be fun. Bernie Sanders also announced his run, so I'll be talking about that. as well. If it sounds like this is a political show, it normally isn't. It's normally half video game related and half skepticism related or other topics. It just lately in the news, it's been all politics, so we've got to cover it. There's lots of stuff to cover in that regard. So, you know, we're going to cover things as they go along here. Consider us a variety show for the time being. All right, Eric, you about ready to rock and roll?
Yeah.
Do you see anybody in chat? If anybody's in chat, give a shout out in chat.
How do I see what? Okay. I can't tell who's in the chat.
Yeah, I can't. There's sometimes, I mean, this chat's kind of weird. I love
I can only see the broadcaster and the moderators, which are us.
Yeah, okay. Well, no worries. Usually people come along when they come along. So, all right. I'm about ready. Eric, are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Let's get this party started. Hopefully you can hear us out in YouTubeverse and Twitterverse. Twitchverse, I should say. YouTube and Twitch. That would be weird if Twitter had its own little live service. That'd be kind of cool, actually. You might get more engagement that way. But anyways, let's get started with the show, Eric. Here we go. And welcome everybody to episode 528 of RPGrinders. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohort, Eric the Great. Breakman the Bold will be here soon. So yeah, it's just us for right now. Eric, how you doing, man? I know I got a chance to talk to you real quickly before the show, but cold out there in Ohio, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's prime winter time out there.
I started the weekend with my wrist aching all weekend, and then I had to take Monday because it was still very sore.
What'd you do? Sprain it?
I guess.
Wow.
Must have did something at work.
Yeah.
No, well, it wasn't just my wrist. It was my thumb. I like dropped a pallet on it just a tiny bit.
Ooh, yeah.
I was trying to lift it up, and then when I put it down, I guess it must have just grazed my hand.
Yeah. Well,
so I got my thumb, so it was sore all weekend, and so that also affected my wrists. So and it slowed my recovery because I had to work the next 2 days.
Yeah. Is it getting any better now, or?
Well, it cleared up after Monday of just not doing anything really.
Yeah, good. Man.
I basically stayed home and watched videos of Death Battle all day.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, my friend. Well, I mean, I had a boring...
That was the only day in my life I've probably gone without playing a video game, though.
Yeah. Bernie's in chat. She says she's hanging out with Mom 2. We wish Mom 2 the best. Hopefully she's getting better by the day. I know they took the breathing tube out, so that's a positive step. But let's wish for the best for Mom too, because she's still in the hospital. So hope for the best for her. Eric, why don't we get right into the news, my friend? Let's get right into it. RPG news. All right, Eric.
Okay, from RPG site. We've got this game called Eternity: The Last Unicorn, which I think we might have talked about before, but it has nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But March comes out on March 5th for PlayStation 4 and PC by 1C Entertainment, which is an interesting name. At 1 degree Celsius, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, there's an Xbox One version to follow later in the year. I don't think it's a timeless exclusivity thing. I think it was like we were prioritizing these versions.
Looks interesting.
Plus, Microsoft's notoriously hard to work with, and they have a longer approval process.
Yeah, yeah. It does look like a budget title, and I'm happy to see that the price is $19.99, Eric. That's actually really, really appealing, and I think that's a good move. That might.
It's a class and action RPG.
Yeah.
It sounds like it could be like a diable, though.
It doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that, really, Eric. It looks more like.
Well, I didn't get to watch the trailer.
Yeah, it looks more something along.
But when I think like PC being also ported to console action RPG, I think that now though, because there's a lot of that going on.
It looks a little different. Like it's not really an isometric view. It's more of like an over-the-shoulder, panned-back kind of view. And
also, Kingdoms of Amalur.
Yeah, that would be a great comparison. That's more comparative. But it looks good. It doesn't look that bad. So
maybe you'll see where that game failed though.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think that game really failed. It just,
Well, some people like it, but there was a lot of problems with it. A lot of other people didn't like.
Yeah. I see apricot droop fruits.
And not to mention it put Rhode Island into debt.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was a bad deal for Rhode Island, period. Apricot droop fruits in chat, Commander Roots in chat, of course, Bernie's in chat, and Slow Cooler in chat. Thank you guys and gals for joining. Let's move on to the next story, Eric. The next story comes to us from RPGsite.net. Haven. Furry developers announce adventure RPG
Fury.
Haven. What?
It's Fury.
I said Fury.
You said
I
Furry.
said Furry. Okay, Fury. My bad.
Yeah, I would like to play a game called Furry.
Well, yeah, that'd be cool too. Why not? Where's Tiger Claw when you need him? The Game Bakers, French studio behind 2016's Fury, has announced Haven, as described succinctly by the game's official website. Kudos to them for using the word succinctly. They escaped to a lost planet to be together. The announcement...
No, but it's at least... Sorry.
That's all right.
I didn't finish.
No, it's okay. There's a teaser trailer which doesn't give you much in the way of gameplay, but the description is as follows. Play as two lovers to escape the lost planet. Only thing that matters is to stay together. An RPG to play solo or with a special someone. You know what? That's an interesting topic. How many games do you know, Eric, that have... a great component for like a loved one, like a like a boyfriend or a girlfriend?
It's like usually they'll make an RPG and they'll include a love subplot, but it just doesn't pan out that well.
Yeah, it always kind of.
But if you make a game with that in mind, then it could work better.
Yeah, I always thought that would be a cool thing to get more people involved, whether male or female, into games. Something that they could play that was challenging but not super,
I mean, it kind of reminds me of the 2B and 9S situation.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like a side subplot.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a focal point.
Yeah.
It was a subplot used to strengthen the overall narrative of the message of robots becoming human.
Yeah. Kind of like the art style. It's got like it reminds me of Supergiant Games kind of art style. That type of like with what was that game? Not the first one. What was the...
Bastion?
Yeah, no, not Bastion. The one that came after. I think it was Pyre. Transistor. Yeah, in that vein of like art style, looks like that.
But I hope this game is better than Fury, because my biggest problem with Fury is that if you play it on normal, they give bosses way too much health, and you do way too little damage.
Yeah.
I mean... there's probably ways to do more, but like the game doesn't give you very much context clues other than the fact that, well, here's this attack and here's how to avoid it, so do that a lot.
Yeah.
But so it becomes like more of a like, how long can you keep this up rather than like how quickly can you do a battle? And the game didn't have very many checkpoints.
Yeah.
It's like if you fail to like beat a boss on like you basically have like several different attempts. Like you have like lives basically, but if you lose a life, the boss gains a health bar back, which is it's like and then the game becomes a big gigantic mess of tug of war. Yeah,
I think that's kind of a bad design, Eric. Like it's you have a hard enough time with the boss as it is. Like just make it easier as you go so you can progress. That's the goal. I mean not Dark Souls, but games like Bloodborne and Dark Souls are kind of that way. They punish you.
It's kind of like Shadows of the Colossus, but where you have like these long, pointless walking sections where you're just walking. Sometimes you hear story, but like usually the story ends before you get to the Colossus. It takes so goddamn long.
Yeah.
It's like you should have had a cutscene if you were going to do that, and
Yeah.
then you get to fight another boss fight. It could have been better if they made the game a little bit longer and actually had a level structure. But
Yeah. Freak5's in chat. He just joined. Welcome, Freak5. All right, Eric, next story, please.
But next story is Eratus, Lord of the Dead. Oh, yeah. It's a turn-based roguelike RPG, which is releasing on Steam Early Access this summer. Daedalic Entertainment has announced that it will be helping to publish indie roguelike RPG Eratus, Lord of the Dead, and a newly formed Russian studio, Unfrozen.
Oh, that's kind of a cool name.
Players are put into the shoes of a resurrected necromancer, the name of the character in the title, imprisoned deep in an underground dark dungeon seeking vengeance. And a Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign ran in 2018, raising the $23,000 for the game.
Freak5 is talking about abusing his daughter.
I think the goal might have been
normal.
like less than that, but they went over.
Yeah. Well, they usually do. He said she whined that she was hungry. Oh, how dare you abuse your...
If they only need that much money, they probably just needed the extra funding.
Yeah.
They probably had the most of the money already.
That's so typical of a kid. Freak5 says she whined that she was hungry while sitting at the dinner table eating fucking dinner. That's kids for you, Freak5. I mean, you know as well as I do, man.
Or it's a situation where they had a publisher and they're like, they needed to do Kickstarter to convince them to fund them the rest of the money.
Yeah, the game looks good. I'm not into roguelikes, but it does look pretty cool. It looks like a mix between like Dark Dungeon and Odin Sphere, something like that. So I'm guessing.
Speaking of Dark Dungeon, we have got an article on that.
Okay.
Or Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah. All right, let me read the next story, Eric, coming to us from RPG site. Fate Extella Link launches on March 19th in North America, March 22nd in Europe. And I hate this bullshit where now we have to have a fucking chart of which, one that you're going to order. And like special edition, physical, digital, all this fucking nonsense, chart nonsense that we're getting. The game looks good, but fuck that nonsense. So there it is. Fate Extella Link. Yeah, and then I gave the date, so a little bit of that. Anything to add to that, Eric?
Only that I remember one time we were talking about the Fate Stay Night TV series, the original TV series, not the Unlimited Blade Works, where Panda was trying to correct me on how to address King Arthur as being a king, but she tried to suggest that she should be a queen because Saber is a female in the present, but what she didn't understand is that heroic spirits aren't necessarily the same sex they were when they were in their past life. Yeah,
that's a throwback moment, Eric. Glad you brought that up. Bernie is saying Mom 2's listening to the show with her. So let's be on our best behavior and don't use the fuck word or shit.
But to be fair, I didn't understand that either. I mean, I kind of figured that's what was going on, but the show itself did took no effort to explain that. The visual novel probably would have, though.
Yeah, we should have Panda back on the show, man. It's been a long time. She needs to get back on the show. Panda, if you're listening, you need to get back on the show. So yeah, did you get that, Bernie? We will not use profanities like fuck, shit, hell, damn, motherfucker, and what else? Shithead and stuff like that. Only when necessary. All right, all right, Eric. Next story.
All right, next story is about the Bard's Tale 4 Director's Cut. It was originally going to be called Barrows Deep, but I guess they decided to, instead of making it an expansion, they just retweaking the original game and including that content and calling it Director's Cut. But it's version 2.0, and it'll be coming out in June. And I'm assuming that the game also will, for the consoles, will also be getting this.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the console release has happened yet.
Yeah. Bernie said...
I have that game for review, but, like, if they're going to do all these bug fixes, should I just wait till point 2 comes out?
Yeah, probably, man. Probably.
I mean, I've got a lot of other stuff, and they haven't bugged me about it, so,
Yeah.
Usually some publishers get antsy when I haven't, or PR people get antsy when I haven't emailed, or answer their emails. and technically, I've got the first 3 Bard's Tale games to get through, because there's a trilogy, the code that they gave me, so...
Yeah. Bernie said, we got a smile out of Mom 2. That's what it's all about, Mom 2. And she said, well, fuck it. So yeah,
I mean, just like I hate to review a game, then have a negative review, and then have the game come out and have to review it again.
Yeah, Mom 2 needs to have her mouth washed out by one of the nurses over there. Have Bernie, have one of the nurses wash her mom's mouth out with soap. I would never ever use that harsher language ever. You know. And if you believe that, I got land in seaside land in Colorado to sell you. All right, Eric. Let's. Oh, it's my turn. This comes to us from RPGs.
I mean, I could. What I could do is I could do like a preview for 2.0, talking about how it is right now.
Yeah, I guess you could, man.
Doing impressions and then do a review later.
Yeah. All right. You were talking about Darkest Dungeon 2 earlier, Eric. This comes to us from RPGsite.net. Red Hook announces sequel to Darkest Dungeon with Darkest Dungeon 2. So they released a trailer teasing it, and then that's a follow-up to their horror RPG Darkest Dungeon. I never played it, man. It's been on sale, and I want to buy it, but from what I hear, it's really, really difficult, and I'm not good at, that good at games to be playing games like that. And if I hate roguelikes, because if I lose a character...
Well, it is a turn-based game.
That's true.
And it plays more like a traditional RPG.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you still have to worry about things like disease and stuff. Almost like, the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Disease and your character is becoming insane and stuff.
Yeah. Freak 5's talking about his bodily functions, so you're exiled. Teaser titled The Howling End is what that teaser was named. It'll first release in early access, so that's about it. Not a lot of info on that. All right, Eric, next story.
Next story is, let's see. Chinese RPG Sword and Fairy 6. That's a direct title.
Yeah. Well, there's partial nudity in it, too, apparently.
Yeah, where are the first parts, or the first 5 parts? So, I mean, is this kind of like Final Fantasy, where it's just a completely different game, and we don't have to worry about them?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe.
But anyways, it'll come to the PlayStation Store in North America on April 2nd for $26.99, which is an odd price point. Maybe they're taking taxes into account.
I guess they want to make it exactly $30 or thereabouts. It looks okay.
Physical edition of the game will be available only as a limited edition, sold exclusively through Play Asia, with pre-orders opening February 21st, which was yesterday. Anyways, the game will, let's see. It was first available in China on November 2017.
Yeah.
And the PC version launched on Steam.
Graphically, it doesn't look the best, but I think stylistic.
I never looked at the Steam page for this game. So
yeah, stylistically, it looks okay. It's got. I mean, it's obviously like a play on Final Fantasy, but it looks okay. I'd give it a shot at least. So, all right. Anything else on this, Eric?
Nah, no more. Just a bunch of pictures, but we can't show that on the show.
All right. Well, we can, but
we can show the link, and then people can look through themselves. Yeah. But
all right. Speaking of Final Fantasy, this comes to us from RPGsite.net. Final Fantasy 15 episode Arden releases on March 26th. This must have came out the day we did the last Grinders, because I remember seeing this about a week ago. But it's as originally announced with the episode, an anime short titled Episode Arden Prologue has also been made available, which can be watched for free on the game's YouTube page. Together with the enemy short DLC content will tell the behind-the-scenes story of Arden Izunia, the game's antagonist, and details role in the Chancellor of Nilfheim and the mysterious past regarding Eos' early history. Alongside DLC episode and prologue, Square Enix also announced a novelization of what would have been the cancelled episodes titled Dawn of the Future. The book, which is scheduled to release April 25th with an English version to follow later. There's the Celebration box set containing a Blu-ray of the anime as well as some postcards and art book. Freakfight says, is Break there not there tonight? He will be here soon. He's stuck in some traffic, so...
I think the prologue is also available on Crunchyroll if you've got that.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, Eric, next story. More Square Enix.
Next story is, let's see. Hold on, I got links up that I forgot to close.
That's all right. It's the last idea for smartphones.
Right. The last idea from Square Enix. It's a mobile game. That's all I can really say.
Yeah,
because that's all they really showed us.
Yeah, there's no gameplay.
They said it's a treasure hunting RPG.
Yeah, there's not much. There's no gameplay on the teaser.
A mysterious girl with amnesia. How original.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we've never seen that before in any RPG ever.
That's a lazy way to make intrigue into your game.
Yeah, and the funny thing is the teaser isn't even a teaser. They don't show anything in the teaser. So yeah,
more like an announcement of a future announcement.
Yeah, I hate
the game we're working on. We don't have anything, but stay tuned.
Yeah, I hate announcements like that. I wish we should just not even do those type of things. All right, next story comes to us from Siliconera.
But now it's in the consciousness that people who listen to the show. We can talk about it later. So.
I guess. All right. To All Mankind introduces his prologue and a tour of the dilapidated Akiba. Ippon Ichi and acquires new game To All Mankind. Got some new info this week on the topic of its prologue, gameplay, and characters. Teaser movie for the game has also been revealed. Jesus, I don't even know if I want to read this whole thing. So it's just... yeah, it's a new game coming from...
It looks like a visual novel / adventure game.
Yeah, it does look like that, which I'm okay with that. I mean, that's a good change of pace. So, there you go. All right, Eric, and here's some big news coming from Nintendo.
But they're like turning Akiba, but it's like post-apocalyptic, and the city's been abandoned, and now it's been overrun with greenery.
Yeah. All right, Eric, next story. This is the big story of the day when it comes to games.
But next big story is that Reggie Fils-Aimé is leaving Nintendo and retiring from the industry altogether.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how long that's going to last, because usually when people do that, they say they're going to retire, and then they're back in some form or fashion within the industry or within, industry.
No, he'll probably get hired as a consultant, but he's probably never going to be in a leadership position again.
I highly doubt that, Eric. I mean, it's sort of like when people get into Congress, when they quote-unquote retire from Congress, they become lobbyists or, the big, CEOs of varying companies that they helped. But this is interesting because the guy that takes over for him, his name is Doug Bowser, which I think is so appropriate, man.
Well, he already started working for Nintendo around 2011 maybe, I think.
Yeah, he was a marketing guy, I believe. Yeah, senior vice president of sales and marketing. But Bowser, how appropriate is that? The new leader of Nintendo of America, his name is Doug Bowser. That's so cool.
Nintendo didn't waste any opportunity on that either.
Yeah, I know Break, he's not here right now, and maybe we'll get him...
People are floating around that picture about him having Mario and Luigi tied up by a controller cord.
That's so appropriate, man.
That was when he started. They think it's. I think some people think it's happened recently, though.
Yeah, Reggie Fils-Aimé is an interesting guy.
2003 is when he started working on Nintendo.
Reggie Fils-Aimé is an interesting guy. I liked him quite a bit. He was a good head of that of the American side of things for Nintendo. I don't.
Some people don't like them because but that's more of a case of them being like, you didn't do enough for me personally, because we didn't get Earthbound until like people just completely bombarded Nintendo.
Yeah, but I mean that's not necessarily Reggie's fault, man. I mean,
I know, it's like that's really up to Nintendo of Japan.
Yeah, Nintendo Japan pulls all the strings. I mean, he's done a good job of being
and Reggie is the president, and he has to make sure Nintendo is getting money, and they can't just do something risky.
Well, nothing Nintendo does usually doesn't involve making a shit ton of money, man. Like Nintendo, like prints money for the most part.
I mean, Doug Bowser, he is probably a gamer himself, so maybe he might be more willing to listen to the consumer.
Yeah,
and maybe he could like parlay with Nintendo of Japan a little bit better than Reggie did.
Possibly. I don't remember too many people having a lot of bad things to say about Reggie.
Sure, Doug Bowser was responsible for the horrible marketing campaign that was a Wii U, but he's learned from that, because look how well the Switch is doing now.
Yeah. I see Slegar has joined chat. Welcome. And Positivity Bot. And let's see if there's anybody else. I mentioned Freak 5. And everybody else I've already mentioned. So thanks, you guys, for joining.
It's like nobody. It's like Reggie didn't try to convince Nintendo of Japan to get their name, the Wii U's name changed for the North American or Western market, because like they could have come up with another name and they would have sold at least better than they did.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I mean it's time. Like, so, I always thought about that about like Congress people. Like for instance, like Senator Feinstein. The chick is gonna be like what 91 when she fucking enters. When she exits, and it's like, really?
Is this podcast about like Harry Potter and how like he sucks and everything or something?
Oh man, he says the host is an adult reading the Harry Potter books for the first time. That's interesting. That's actually really interesting. So yeah, Fia May out at Nintendo, and Doug Bowser in. Huge news in the gaming community. So I want to wait till we get Break in here before we discuss further, because Break had an interesting, kind of amusing little comment about it. He was like, he's gonna miss his dramatic pauses or something like that. So anyways, let's move on to the next story, Eric.
Next story is about how Deathmark is coming to Steam. Let's see, April 4th, and it is a visual novel about, a horror visual novels about where these people are stuck in this mansion, and anybody who gets this bike light mark on their skin ends up dying, and this is a fate they can't avoid. But they're trying to figure out whether or not there is a fate they can avoid. I mean, like, if they don't do anything about it, obviously they're going to die, but I think that's what the point of the game is. And there are multiple routes and different endings you can take. And there are even game overs, so you better be prepared to save often.
Yeah. Try to get Breakman in, but I don't know what's going on there. Let's see if I can remove him from the call and try again. Why don't you go ahead and do the next news story as well, Eric, so I can add Break.
Okay. Atlas has got a survey out going that you can fill out, and the question is, what do you want to see from Persona in the future? Check all that apply, and the options are downloadable content, merchandise, remake, remaster, sequel/next installment, other, please specify, and Xbox One port, Switch port, or PC port.
Yeah. I'm trying to get Break in here, and I don't know what the hell's going on. Oh, so what is this? Okay, survey. Okay, so what is this supposed to do for us?
So basically, they're just putting out feelers to see where the biggest interest in their properties lies, so they know what to do in the future.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, let me go ahead and hang up on you, and I can try to get...
And some people are chomping at the bit for getting Persona 5 on the Switch, so this is a good opportunity to let them know you want it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a no-brainer. I think obviously...
They're probably doing it anyways, but still.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna hang up on you, Eric. I'll get you right back. All right. So let's see here. Let's go and let's get these guys back on the horn. Let's see if I can get Break first. You're gonna hear the Skype, the wonderful Skype tone. Break, do we have you?
Yes.
Okay, let me get Eric RPG in on the convo as well. See if we can.
Damn
get
you, Skype.
I know Skype has been acting up, so I don't know what's going on here. All right, trying to call Eric. I don't know what's going on. How is so?
Skype sons of a bitch, man.
Yeah, Skype is a
Skype
son
is
of a
evil.
bitch. Skype is a son of a bitch. No question about that. Why can't I? Oh man, you gotta love live YouTube radio and live Twitch radio. Break
My PC is cursed, according to Eric.
I'm trying to call you, Eric. I don't know. Break. Let me hang up on you too, man. I don't know.
All right.
All right. Let's try to join. Not with camera. Jesus. Oh man. You gotta love this shit. You gotta love it. Let me try calling Eric. If anybody can type to Eric in chat, he's not coming up as available, so I'll just get Break in here, and we'll continue from there. All right, Break, you're back. I can't get Eric until he becomes available on Skype, so somebody in chat, please type that to him, or if you're listening, Eric, please make yourself available. Oh, wait, he just did, so hang on. Let's see if we can get Eric in on the call. Eric, you there?
Yeah.
All right, I think we got the whole band. Break, you there?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Skype.
Jesus Christ. Skype, get your shit together. Freak5 has used
Skype
my...
shits its pants regularly.
It sure does. Freak5 says, I pooped today. That's a hashtag that I started on Twitter.
Skype poop today.
Yeah, Skype pooped today. So there you go. All right, Atlas Survey, let everybody know you want Persona 5 on the Switch, I guess, is the big takeaway from that. Last story of the day, I'm going to go ahead and do it, Breaks, since you're getting acclimated.
Or entering Odyssey ports.
Yeah, exactly.
Or actually, you can't ask for a port, but you can ask for like a remake or like a remaster.
Yeah. All right, this comes
Which
to us.
would be a port, but yeah, technicalities.
All right, let's go with the last story. This comes to us from Siliconera. Konosuba's upcoming PS4 and PS Vita dungeon RPG delayed 3 months to June 27th, one day after the greatest day known to mankind, my birthday, in Japan. So yeah, it's going to be delayed. It was set to release March 28th, but now it's going to be, like I said, June 27th. Labyrinth of Hope and Gathering Adventures releases. I already said that. Jesus Christ, Siliconera. Fuck. That's the entire story right there, guys. No more information.
Don't read the headers anymore.
Yeah.
I'm getting the idea like they get paid for word count.
I think so too, man. If that's the way to go, then I should write for Siliconera.
They're like, God, what else can I write about this shit? Maybe if I just repeat myself in a different way.
Slagar said, did we talk...
How about I just completely repeat myself? Oh, yeah, this'll work.
Yeah. Slagar said...
Or maybe they do it just in case people don't read the headers.
Yeah.
Some people don't, actually.
Yeah, Slagar said, have we talked about Xbox on Switch yet? We have not, man. To be honest, I'm out of the loop a little bit on it.
Well, I wouldn't talk about something that's only a rumor.
Yeah. So what's the rumor then, Eric?
The rumor is that it's happening.
What, we're going to get Xbox games?
What is it, though? I don't understand.
Xbox Game Pass on Nintendo Switch.
Basically, the idea is that Microsoft might be planning to get Games Pass and or streaming capability for Xbox games to be played on the Switch.
Ooh,
which might be a good marketing idea, since they can't take off in Japan, and lots of people in Japan have Switches.
Yeah, they'd have to pay.
And they probably looked at this being able to stream Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and they're like, maybe we could do that too.
Yeah, they would. They'd have to pay Nintendo a shitload of money to do that, though. I don't know if they're. It's just a rumor.
Why can't these companies work together? It's been a console wars forever, for as long as I can remember. Why?
But hey, this is something Microsoft
working together.
Yeah.
This is something Microsoft could do if they decide to exit the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Which they should, if you ask me.
Yes.
I don't know because I really like their hardware. Like
I mean, think about it, Break. It'd be good because then you wouldn't have to buy any more Xboxes again.
Yeah. Well, then you'd
And
have to buy
you could
Switches.
just buy the next Sony or Nintendo console and play Halo there.
Yeah.
Well, if Microsoft stopped making consoles, like the 343 Studios is under their wing. Like they've gone too.
Yeah, I don't like that idea.
Like they own the company, and the company can just develop for another platform.
No, I don't like that idea. I like competition. I like having all three consoles. I like having the the option of all three, man. I don't know, like there's certain things.
But seriously though, I mean, Microsoft doesn't seem to know what they're doing with their consoles.
They don't, but they have the most powerful hardware out of all of them, man. My Xbox One X is awesome. There's not a lot that I play on there, but the games that I play on there for a reason. Like seriously, like if I take a good comparison of games, there are some that I like to play better on the X, and there are some that I like for instance Final Fantasy I like better playing on the PlayStation, so, and I'm telling you, Sony's killing it with exclusives. I like the fact that there is competition, and there are certain exclusives like Gears and Halo and shit like that for the Xbox, and there's a shit ton on the PlayStation, and there's a bunch on the Nintendo. I like it. I like that stuff.
Freak says that you intentionally came late so you could avoid mispronouncing words in articles.
Yeah. Slaker, there's plenty for the Switch for you to like anyways, regardless if that goes to the Switch. But I agree with you. That would definitely sell a lot more consoles. The Switch is a nifty system, man. I mean, it really is. It's like playing games. There's an underrated aspect of the Switch that not a lot of people look at. Yes, you are taking a graphical hit, but the way the games look nowadays, it's not that big of a deal. And the portability. I mean, the portability is the big draw to the Switch, man. I'm coming around a little bit on the Switch for sure. Bernie put in the link for.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that Nintendo will have a beefier version of the Switch near the end of this.
Oh, no question, no question. I mean, that's been rumored for a little while now. Bernie put in a link for the GoFundMe.
Well, I don't think it's gonna be anytime soon. I'm thinking like maybe in the next 5 years.
I think it's sooner than later. Maybe within the next couple
Nintendo
of years.
is coming out with a new SKU, but I don't think it's gonna be a beefier Switch. I think it's gonna be like
a
slightly
bundled
version of the Switch.
I don't know.
Or like hardware that is technically better, but not much better.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, more than likely, it'll be cheaper.
Yeah. Bernie put in the GoFundMe for Mom 2, so if you guys are interested in donating a little bit of money, I know Breakman, thank you very much for your donation. That was helpful. She reached the $2,000 goal, but let's see if we can get it up to $5,000. That would be really, really cool. Okay, so we are done.
And by cheaper, we mean cheaper for Nintendo. The savings
that's
won't
what
get
I said.
passed on.
Yeah.
It's going to be cheaper parts and cheaper quality things. I mean, really.
Yeah.
That's what most manufacturers do. Sony and Xbox do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like wasn't the Falcon just like a cheaper version of the Xbox 360 or something?
Yes, I believe. All right, let's move on. There's no real big homie discounts. I looked over them all, and there's nothing. Unless you guys have something, I don't have very many homie discounts this week. But what I do have is
Twitter comments.
Do we have any Twitter comments?
I'm not gonna read most of what's on Twitter because Jesus, Frank.
What?
Jesus.
What?
You.
What
Just
about
you.
me? What about me?
Unless I'm not reading your stuff on Twitter here. Like you went batshit crazy on Twitter.
Did I?
Yes.
I guess I did.
And I was involved in a lot of it.
What was it about?
Between you and Bridget.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to read that stuff. I don't know what the hell that was all about.
I don't know why you guys included me in every single one of those tweets. I wanted to kill both
it's like
of you.
You can you can just omit people from conversations.
I don't know how to do all that shit, man. I'm hardly ever on Twitter.
You highlight their name and you hit the X button.
Delete it. I know.
Well, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'll try to keep that in mind next time. Anyways, what you got, Break?
Your emoji love fest was killing me. I was ready to murder somebody.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they were so doing the emoji thing that they're probably going to make the emoji movie too.
Oh, shut up, Eric! You son of a bitch. Freak5 says Frank's a horrible person. That is probably true. That's why Frank isn't reading his Twitter comments, or Break isn't winner. You know what I'm trying to say. Go ahead, Break.
There is, it's not a Twitter comment, but Freak sent us a video of a rabbit trying to, well, fuck a dead rabbit.
I saw that. That was great, man. Like, the guy was all sympathetic. He's like, oh, homie, I'm so sorry. You know, oh, that sucks, man. I know that was your homes and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, the live rabbit tries to fuck the shit out of the dead rabbit. I thought it was pretty funny, but anyway.
Freak wants me to read the comments and stuff. Let me see here. Well, then let's go ahead and start. Frank said, "Here's something we can going to talk about on RPGrinders on Friday. Taxes.
Yeah.
Should be fun. Be there, YouTube, Twitch, 7 p.m. Eastern." And Bridget responds with, "You should talk about how much you miss me." And then Frank sends a little emoji of, no, some guy laying on a couch. I don't know who that is. She responds with a crying baby. Frank responds with I think that's a pig from Minecraft putting on glasses. She calls him a meanie butt, and he says, "How dare you?"
See, he said he didn't want you to read them.
Also, why was I?
It's not over with. It's not over with.
All right.
I've got my own grievances with Frank.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, there are more. So I didn't read them all. You're lucky.
Yeah, good. What's your grievance, Eric?
Maybe it wasn't intended for me, but I don't understand why I was being called a pig for pretending to be God.
What? What are you talking about? Oh, goddamn pig. No, I was just making fun, man. You know, like when people say God, the first thing I think of is goddamn pig. You know, I don't know. It just to me, it's like my way of not saying like an actual God in the sky, like goddamn pig. You know, I'm a God, all right. Goddamn pig. You know, just
if everybody pretends that they're God, then there is no God because we're all God, and when everybody's a God, no one really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
The point of my joke was to try to say God's not special.
Yeah. No, I know. All right.
Also on Twitter, you reached out to Pittsburgh Nerd, and they said we do need to make that happen someday. A collaboration between us.
Yeah, I
didn't know if you saw that because they didn't. Well, they did tag you. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, no, I saw it. This isn't Festivus, Eric. You can't air your grievances with Frank. No, Pittsburgh Nerd celebrated their 300th episode, which is a big milestone. That means you've been in the game for a long time, and I actually got a really big compliment from the Pittsburgh Nerd. You guys need to check out that show. It's pretty fun. It's just a pop culture type deal, and those guys are really fun to listen to. But he said, and I don't believe this is true, but he said that without me that they wouldn't be around right now. And I said that's not true. They built what they built, and it's very flattering, and I appreciate it. So if you have a chance, listen to Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. It's a good podcast. So anyways, what else? Break, anything else?
That's it.
Alrighty then.
Unless you wanted me to talk about the other emoji love fest going on with you and her. You want me to wrestle?
How dare you? No, I think we're good. Let's move on.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know what you've been playing, Breakman.
Well, I beat Mass Effect.
Oh, good. Congrats, man.
You can really the way the game is designed, you can beat like the main villain of the game kind of early on in the game. I just did it last.
Yeah.
So yeah, the way the story's set up, I've said many times, it's not about saving the galaxy, and it wasn't. It's about building a new home for humanity and the other races of Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Too bad there's gonna be no DLC or probably not a sequel or anything like that, because it was definitely left open. Them leaving off into outer reaches of space to explore more and such like that, and find more homes and just increase humanity's expanse, I guess.
How dare you, Freak 5? How dare you? You're exiled for the second time. No record this week, but he says, LOL, he heard Frank and thought, I can do a better show. That's why he's been around for 300 episodes. Yeah, when he gets up to 528, he can come back at me, Freak 5. So, All right. Anything else?
Yes, actually. Anyway, so I beat that, and I tried the multiplayer, and I was surprised to find people are actually playing it.
Wow. I thought that'd be dead by now.
Yeah, I thought it would be too. That was a shock. I didn't have any problems finding games, and I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
The way the jump and the boost are set up for this game, with things you didn't really have in past Mass Effects, it's really well suited for multiplayer.
Yeah, that's cool.
And multiplayer isn't like versus other players. It's you versus it's 4 versus the hordes of alien assholes.
Oh, I got you.
So it's co-op only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I heard they did some big-time improvements to that game, even though it was kind of too little too late, unlike the piece of shit that's going on right now with Fallout 76. But
yeah, like everything, all I hear is bad news for that game. And then they've been touting like how they're going to, like, all these new events they've got coming up to keep the game relevant and stuff like that. And I'm like, keeping the game relevant, you guys have got to really fix the fucker first.
Also,
don't you?
they banned a player who put 900 hours into the game.
Yeah, I heard that.
He was cheating somehow.
That was.
I saw that, but do we know, like, do we see their side of the story, or we just get his?
No, we got.
Because sometimes, like, you get one side of the story and it's like they did this, but then you find out like the whole truth.
No,
that's not really what happened.
I looked at Sterling's video on it, which I know isn't the end all be all to know all the facts, but
Right.
it does seem like.
But it's proof. I get it.
It does seem like the player was legit, and they banned their #1 player, or at least a player.
The one who has invested more hours than anybody else should probably put into the game.
Yeah, exactly. So
Meanwhile, the rest of us diss it.
yeah, it's really bad for Bethesda, man. They really fucked up that game, man.
I was looking forward.
If you want to talk about other fuck ups, how about EA bribing YouTubers to review a game?
Yeah, well, I mean that happens all the time, Eric. I mean they give I love Rad Brad, right?
Yeah, but I think this is like the first time in a long time that we've actually known something happened.
Yeah, I know.
Some people accuse people of doing that, but it usually isn't like going on.
These companies are always like going for anybody they can like butter up and stuff like that, like salespeople.
We'll give you money, which is a big conflict of interest, to review this game positively.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this is unfortunately something that probably happens all the time.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Rad Brad like gets.
But this apparently happened after
Eric.
the comment sections turned up negative, or his impressions turned up negative. They paid him to basically just edit his review or something.
Well, look, are you talking?
That's like what happened with the Fire Festival and shit. Like, no, just erase all the negative comments. Those didn't happen.
Yeah. Are you talking, Eric? Are you talking about Rad Brad specifically? Because
I think that was the person in the story. So yes.
Okay, I didn't know that it was specifically Rad Brad, but man, it's getting to the point where I feel like. When companies do this, Rad Brad's a huge presence on YouTube. He's like one of the biggest reviewers. I mean, he gets millions and millions of views, and I like the guy a lot. I used to watch his walkthroughs quite a bit when I couldn't play games for a while and stuff like that. But when you get to the point where you're getting copies of games months in advance, and you're doing a playthrough of it, and you're always glowing about it, and there's nothing ever, because he never really says anything negative about a game. He really, I mean, he doesn't, and I don't know if that's his purpose to say, like, but, if I were to review a game, Eric does this all the time. He reviews a game and he gives an honest fucking review of it. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. And I'm the same way. Like, I could never be in that position. I mean, for one, nobody's going to, want me to play a game because I suck at playing games. But even if I did, like, people wouldn't, they would get an honest review. You would never get a biased review whether or not I'm getting paid from a company or not. And I know that's that's going to catch a lot of, like, Freak 5 I can see already is gonna give me shit about it, but I'm telling you, like, when it comes to reviews, I do have integrity, and I wouldn't you guys hear me all the time on this show. Like, if a game is good, I give it a good review, and I tell you what I liked and what I didn't like. And if a game is shitty, I'll tell you a game is shitty. It's just the way it is. I don't know, man. I have never been able to, give a biased review of anything. Even when it comes to Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy, if something sucks, it just sucks. Mom too rolled her eyes at my hashtag, which is I pooped today. That's my hashtag. What's number 4? All right. There you go. So there you go. Where did we leave off? Did anything else you're playing? Break?
Yes. So I beat Mass Effect, and I'm going to play the multiplayer more, but I haven't because I started playing another game, and I didn't realize it at the time, but it is one of my absolute favorite types of games. It's Metroidvania.
Strider?
Yes.
Yeah. I love that game.
So I can't play anything else.
The new one by Iron Galaxy.
Yeah, the last one that came out. Yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. Its map pisses me off so much, but that's another story. I guess I'm more used to like the Konami Castlevania type maps and stuff. Yeah. Or like Metroid maps. But
you know how I know you're a cheapo, Breakman? I know you got that game on sale, right?
Yes, maybe. I don't know what you're talking about.
You probably got it for $3, right? Am I right?
No, I did see that it's on sale for $3 now. I actually owned it for a while. I bought one on sale last year sometime.
Yeah.
So it's been sitting there, and I've just been sitting there waiting until I was done with another game.
It's a really good. Surprisingly, it was a good game.
Yes, I'm quite enjoying it.
Yeah.
Just the map can irritate me, but because it tells you where you're supposed to go, but it points you in the direction supposedly you're supposed to go, but it doesn't take into account like the map is is layered and such like that. So it kind of points you in the wrong fucking direction.
It's unforgiving in that way, but it's very rewarding in other ways, man.
The game's a lot of fun. Yeah. Currently, I've as of last time I was on a tough boss fight.
Yeah.
So I gotta kill a monkey next. I gotta smack a monkey next time I get.
Yeah. And we do not advocate for animal abuse on this show unless it's attacking you.
You can spank your monkey.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about animal abuse for.
Freak5 is only partially exiled. He says if Frank thinks a game is shitty, that is code for too hard for Frank, which means a 3-year-old could probably beat it. That's probably true.
Yeah, you remember?
That's the Black Wolf excuse.
Yeah,
that was weird. Like we all talked in the phone ring.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, guys.
Fucking phone.
I know.
Only Black Wolf does that for demos.
Yeah.
Demo shit, he just doesn't bother with the game.
I kind of get that. If you can't beat the demo, like I wouldn't want to buy the game either. Like your demo, like I didn't enjoy it.
No, it wasn't that he couldn't beat the demo. It was that the demo sucked.
Oh. Yeah. If I don't like the demo, I'm probably not gonna buy the game either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a demo. It's not a good indicator of what the rest of the game is.
Maybe.
But it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's supposed to give you.
If it isn't, that's on the developers.
Yep, exactly. All right. Any final thoughts, Break?
I'm enjoying Strider. I think I'm more than halfway through it. It's not a long game. After that, I'll probably play more multiplayer.
Honestly, the only shitty things about that demo were the time limit. So you don't have enough time to figure out how to play the game because the game unfortunately didn't tell you how to play it.
What game are you talking about?
Ni no Kuni is the demo in particular when he brings up bad demos.
All right, Break. Let's see, Eric, what have you been playing?
I've been playing more London Detective Mysterious and some Death End requests.
Cool. Right on. That's it?
I like the name of that game.
Yeah, I do too. That's actually cool. All right. Well, I've been playing, of course, a little bit of...
Wait, what? Really? Like 3 games?
I know. No, that was 2 games. London Death...
What was just 2? Shit.
Yeah.
Are you okay, Eric?
No, I just burped.
Eric,
that's not what I meant.
Eric usually plays like 100 games a week.
Yeah, that's more like I meant. Are you like? Did you break your hand or something?
Broke his hand wanking, probably.
I almost did.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, not wanking, but working. But all right. I played a little bit of MPQ. I did play and beat Bulletstorm, which I'll have a review for in our review section. And check this out.
Did you kill the dick?
Did I kill what?
Did you kill Dick? Did you kill somebody's dick?
Yes, I did.
I'll kill your dick. What does that even mean?
You kill the dick like RoboCop kills the dick.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah. That's actually true. And then I wish Dungeon was in chat. I don't think Dungeon's in chat. The one day I want Dungeon in chat, and he's not here. He's usually here every fucking week. I played Final Fantasy IX. I'm getting back into Final Fantasy IX, and this time I'm gonna finish off that game. It's so fun. It's a great fucking game.
I doubt he's playing that wonderful BioWare game called Anthem, which is technically not out yet, because EA wants to let people know they launched the game even though it's only early access nonsense.
Exactly. Anthem's not getting good reviews at all, man. We were talking about people that get advanced copies, and nobody that I've seen on YouTube is giving a glowing review. So
unless you're Destin Legare from IGN, who apparently will forgive the game because he's got low standards or something. I don't know.
I don't know, man. So
maybe
yeah,
he just likes the shooty in the jetpack, and maybe that's enough for some people.
See, that's what I was hyped for, and I'm not hyped for it anymore. You guys were right in your criticism when I talked about this months ago, man. Like it's whatever. So
well, it's had some good videos and stuff, but I don't know.
That one demo that they showed a demo, right? That one demo where it's 4 people and the one dude is going, and then the other dude comes in and he destroys things, and then they keep going. And I'm like, that looks like a really exciting, cool game. And then I looked at the actual gameplay of it, like with people that are actually, and it looks different. It looks completely different. Like the textures look different. The gameplay looks different. It does not look like that first demo that they did.
I don't think that's the real problem with the game, though.
I think it's a huge problem. I think the gameplay changed a little bit.
I didn't say it wasn't a huge problem. I just don't think it's the main problem.
Yeah.
What are people complaining about the most?
The fact that you can't really get invested in the story because it's basically threadbare.
Yeah, bare story. There's no motivation. It's bland, textures, bland gameplay. Like it's not exciting. Like that one demo showed. Freak5 says, I've heard of hate fucking, but hate wanking. Yeah,
that's like role play hate fucking.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's move on to
RPGrinders reviews.
All right, Break. I didn't see any reviews here for you. Did you want to review Andromeda at all, or?
I guess I'll give you a short review for it because I've explained what the game is pretty much. It's a sci-fi epic. The next it was supposed to be the next franchise or the next I don't know, trilogy or whatever, how many ever they're going to do in the Mass Effect franchise, but Mass Effect did not do so well. Andromeda did not do so well, probably none of that's happening. Although they said they are still working on Mass Effect, or still, what did they say about Mass Effect? They're not working on it. They're still love it, and they still want to work on it one day. So maybe again we'll see Mass Effect, but probably not
10 years.
Which is a shame because I like this game and I would have liked some DLC.
It'll be rebooted by then.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be complete reboot next time. They'd have to, because what they did to distance this Mass Effect from the other franchise, because the big changes. And I guess I'll go ahead and spoil Mass Effect 3 because at this point it's an old game. At the end of the game, either you can. You get 4 choices. Basically, you can destroy all the machines, you can combine with the machines, and then I forget what the other 2 huge choices are. But they changed the galaxy completely different ways, so there would be no way that they could do this game in that universe, because they were doing basically this is humanity from before. And I find out later in the game that the story takes place basically right before the 3rd Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They leave the Milky Way galaxy to start a new home in a new galaxy, which is the Andromeda galaxy.
Yeah,
and from there you're exploring new planets, you're meeting new alien races, with your trusty companions, and I love the banter between the characters and stuff. Which there's a lot of banter.
I remember another issue that Anthem had. The game didn't explain how to work some of its mechanics. You could basically do combos, but the game doesn't tell you how. and somebody had to make a video about how to do combos, and Microsoft's VP basically made fun of the person for not knowing that, the reviewer who was doing it. It's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. All right, Eric, let's let Break finish his review.
Sorry.
That's right. Go ahead.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, I give it a 7.5. It's a fun game.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it.
If you didn't like, if you played the third one and you hated it like that because of the endings and stuff like that, you can go ahead and play this one and enjoy it and know whatever choices you make aren't going to affect anything, because there's not going to be a sequel to this game. So you can pretty much do whatever you want.
I hated the entire game because it was boring.
That's relative, man. I mean,
the story was boring.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't find the story boring at all. I like the exploration of the galaxy. Like, they're trying to find a new home for humanity.
No, I'm not talking about Andromeda. I'm talking about the third game.
Oh, sorry.
I never played Andromeda.
Okay. I mean, I can see, like, as far as story, like,
the endings were the least of that game's problems in terms of narrative, and for me.
Right.
And they didn't really fix it. They just recontextualized the ending so it made a little bit more sense.
I wished Breakman. I wish they would have had their A-team work on Andromeda. I think it would have been something special if they did.
Yeah, I'm playing it after they fixed a lot of the bugs, and as I've pointed out, there are a lot of bugs in this game. Yeah. So I can't imagine.
What game has more bugs, Skyrim or this one?
It's probably Skyrim, man. Skyrim.
I've never played Skyrim, but I'm guessing they probably gave Skyrim more support.
Oh, you played Fallout, so Fallout had a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
But Skyrim's a great fucking game, man. God, I love that game, man. I like Oblivion too, man. It's hard for me to decide which is better. But anyways, all right.
Oh, I know where Dungeon
I would say Fallout's more buggy, by the way.
I remember where Dungeon Buster is. He's probably playing that new Far Cry game.
Oh, New Dawn. Yeah, probably.
Or Metro Exodus.
Yeah, I got them. I gotta get into the Metro game. I picked those up on the cheap, man. They're like $4 or $5 on
I'm also
PlayStation.
not hearing great things about the game either. They both sound kind of mediocre.
I've heard mixed on the last game, but the other games are great. So I'm glad I bought them on the cheap. But they're like $5 right now. All right, I'm gonna do a real quick review, Eric, before you get to yours. Bulletstorm. We're talking about having fun in video games. Bulletstorm is a fucking blast. It's a first-person. Basically, Gears of War in first person is the way that I explain it. Although I think this game is far superior to Gears of War. I think it's a way better game. If you like a game that you could just let loose and have a lot of fun and do some crazy shit with some crazy kills with some crazy guns, this is the game for you. Bulletstorm is I think a very underrated game, and I'm sad to see.
So the company running the scissors make the game? I can't remember.
Well, Gearbox was working on it. I don't know who the other companies working on it were, but
it was originally made by a third-party company. And when Cliffy B saw him, he was really impressed, and he brought him and I guess funded him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The remake, I don't know. I have no idea.
The remake was done by somebody else, but
yeah,
it was probably in-house. I'd have to imagine.
It's a really fun game, and it looks really good. There's really fun sections. There was no, how like in Dead Space. I don't know if you guys played Dead Space, which I think is one of the greatest.
Space.
Dead Space is one of the greatest games of all time, in my opinion. There's a really good documentary on Dead Space out there if you guys look it up. But there's always that one section in a game that you really can't stand. And in Bulletstorm, it just didn't happen. Like, there was this one section where you're battling this, fake big monster in this mock-up city. There's a section in the game where you get into a helicopter and you're battling an actual huge-ass fucking monster, which is really fucking cool. Like, there is nothing not to love about this game. It's really fucking good, man. Bulletstorm is an underrated gem, in my opinion, and I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10.
I think the only thing that it fails at is that the characters in the game, the protagonists, are really fucking stupid.
They're really funny though.
They are really funny.
I especially love the villain. Like he's just so nonchalant.
Yeah.
Like he's not even nonchalant. He loves killing people, and it's funny to him. Apparently.
If you like just over the top nonsense bullshit games, this is the game for you.
Yes.
It is a fucking riot.
That's why I like Bulletstorm. It never took itself seriously,
Yes.
and it said, "Here, let's have fun."
Yep.
Like this is what games are supposed to be sometimes. Fun.
Yep. Too often we get caught up in battle systems and what's what and this and that and the other, and Bulletstorm is not that. You just go out there, you pick a gun. I picked the sniper rifle, which is the best fucking gun in that whole game.
I think the only characters that are stupider than the protagonists in this game are the characters.
Dumb.
Yeah.
The characters that are stupider than these characters are the characters from Zoolander.
Yeah.
They're just a step above that.
Yeah.
The hero is very dumb.
Yeah. This is it's a meathead game. Like, it's like one of those testosterone laden fucking Gears type games, but with a sense of humor and it knows what it is. It's pretty self-aware.
Yeah, it basically never takes itself seriously. Like my favorite thing with the game was I didn't do a lot of shooting because I was just trying to
here's
people over
Dungeon
the edge
Buster.
or into a cactus, or just like because it has that grappling hook and the kick.
Oh, I love that when you kick people into
that's
cactuses.
what I was doing most of the game, was just trying to find creative ways to kill people.
Yep, that's
what can I kick you into?
Take this.
So Frank, here's an idea for the RPGrinders video game. We make a video game that's like Bulletstorm, but instead of like finding ways to kill people, you find ways to exile people.
That'd be awesome, man.
Kill with skill.
Kill with skills, yeah. Dungeons in chat, right on, Dungeon Buster. I mentioned you earlier, man. I'm starting Final Fantasy IX again, man. He says Frank was just happy that he could get points for shooting someone in the butt. And you know what? With that sniper rifle, that's exactly what I used to do, man. I used to chase people around the corner and right up the bung, man. And it would give me a bonus, like, experience every fucking time, or bonus points, whatever. And they called it rear entry, which I thought was funny as fuck.
I like
man.
using the sort of gravity gun gloves that you have.
Yeah, the lash thing. That's fun as fuck. Yeah. It's a great fucking game, man. Like, I literally, like, I mean, the only flaws I found were the slide wasn't very useful. Like, they have this really cool, like, slide mechanic.
It's basically used to set up other kills, so you can.
Yeah, I used it to set up the kick.
Yeah,
I slide and kick them.
Yeah, I did that a couple of times. I just didn't find it very useful, and then I found some of the level design kind of got a little repetitive, but it wasn't bad. And like I said,
the sliding in Vanquish was better.
Yeah, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Like I said, it's a great fucking game. I hope one day we get some sort of sequel with that game, because it was, to me, it was a like 5 times as fun as playing a Gears of War game. To me, it was just a blast. Bulletstorm is a great game, and if you
it's also colorful. It's a colorful game.
It's a very colorful game. It's great.
In more than one way.
Yeah, the skill point system was addicting. It really made you think how to get creative to score. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, you get, like, I'm not big on getting, like, trophies and stuff, but you can get trophies for different styles of kills, and, you could get creative. That's a game that you can really get creative to try to, do different things. You can electrocute. One of the kills is, like, you kick somebody into electricity, and it's called Shocker, and you get extra points for that. That, to me, was super fun.
I do know one major flaw with the game.
What's that?
At least the original. I don't know about the remake. It had multiplayer.
I never played multiplayer.
Multiplayer was terrible.
I never played multiplayer.
Was it like super laggy or something?
No, it was just imagine that game, like, in multiplayer. Like, you can't really do, like, the skill kills type like that against people.
So it's more just like shoot each other.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it still had, like, the kick, and I mean, there was still, like, you could maybe kick people into things, but it wasn't.
You could do that, but it was probably not advantageous to do that, right?
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, I didn't play it, the multiplayer, because fucking hate playing multiplayer. I'm never like, and that goes to me just not being a great, you know, gamer. Like anytime I play multiplayer, and this goes all the way back to Halo 1 and Halo 2 yes, I used to be the guy that would bring his Xbox over to someone else's house and we'd hook up Xboxes, and I used to get so frustrated because I could never fucking do anything in that game. Like I'd spawn and I'd get killed within 2 seconds, and that shit just wasn't fun to me. I'm like, you know, my friends.
Yeah, that's
surprisingly. Excuse me, I almost coughed and choked up something. But strangely enough, that Metroid Prime, that Metroid Prime game came for the 3DS that came out recently that a lot of people didn't like. It had like skill kills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which would have worked better in a multiplayer setting.
Yeah. All right, Eric, let's go with your reviews because I want to hurry the pace here. We got to get to some really cool stuff. So.
Okay, I've got a review of Mobile Suit Gundam NT, which is a anime adaptation, a film that is based on the novel that was written called Mobile Suit Gundam Narrative, and NT for short, but which is also the name of the new Mobile Suit Gundam in the movie.
It always is. I mean,
unicorn.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. I was going with unicorn.
But like, well, in the Mobile Suit Gundam, it was just Gundam, and then they had Zeta Gundam, so that there was that, and then double Zeta for ZZ. But it's not always. But
I know. I was kidding. I was being more
G Gundam, God Gundam. So
yeah.
they called it Shining Gundam in the broadcast release though, because they couldn't use terms like religion.
So. I know, God. Oh my God, we can't say God.
I know. Oh my God, we can't say God. Dungeon says so many Gundams. All right, Eric. Quickly.
Anyways, this is a story that takes place a year after the end of Gundam Unicorn. If you paid attention to that story, they open this thing called the Places Box, which is basically Pandora's box, but it's just called the Places Box instead. But it actually scales back to the start of UC 0079 when Gundam starts, and tells a story about 3 other kids that basically predicted the drop-in of Colony 7 on the planet, which kick-started the Xeon War. But they basically got brought into like a facility where they were doing experiments on these kids to try to produce a natural new type, which is like basically a Force user, or at least comparable to using the Force, but without psychic powers, just more like psychic predictive powers.
Well, there's a big difference.
To use as basically weapons.
Well, that's the new type's been around since the original Gundam.
Yeah, but
I was telling Frank though.
They were trying to do this, and all they could really do is create cyber new types, which are official, but which were powerful enough. They were comparable to actual new types like Amuro, but they wanted the genuine article because they wanted the humans to evolve to the next step of evolution. But and try to find the secrets of eternal life or something through that method, because that's something that's a plot point of the original Gundam. But anyways,
it seems like that's what they did with Unicorn too. Is like they were just trying to recapture like the magic of the original.
Yeah, as more due to the fact that they're just expanding on the lore from the previous series, but it felt like I feel like Unicorn's biggest problem and this movie's biggest problem is that it just feels like an excuse to make more Gundams.
Yeah, that's what like it feels like
sell more products rather than actually recontextualize the story, because like they keep talking about how they want to end war and they want to create peace, but you keep making Gundam series, so that's never going to happen as long as you want to make money.
Well, of course. I mean, if it just ended, I mean, they wouldn't make any
to
more
me,
money.
like my comparison, Gundam Unicorn to me is like Star Wars, The Force Awakens. Basically, they remade A New Hope.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what Gundam Unicorn basically did, was remade Gundam.
You watch Unicorn?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was on Toonami, so you probably did watch it. So, but did you watch all the other Gundams except ZZ?
Not all of them. I haven't seen them all. I think it was Unicorn that I saw.
You really don't. You really don't need to see Z because, like, apparently they went back and did Gundam movies, and they and for the Zeta movies, they changed the ending so that ZZ doesn't even need to happen.
Unicorn's the one with that guy who wants to be Char, right?
Yeah, the guy called Frontal who
yes, that full frontal. That's right. Yeah.
He didn't want to be Char. He was possessed by the ghost of Char. That's the explanation there.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
All right,
I
Eric.
think Zeon wanted him to be the next Char because he was going to advance their agenda to convince everybody to move to outer space by dropping colonies on the planet to force people living on the planet to leave because it will be uninhabitable otherwise.
Yes. So everybody will be spacers then, as they say.
All right, Eric. Let's wrap up.
There'll be no Earthlings anymore.
Got these 3 kids, and then it just goes through their life, and then it's about the main character named Jolin, and it is basically an analog to Gundam Wing's Endless Waltz movie. This is this version of that.
Yeah. All right. So.
So it's basically just a recycling of Unicorn's plot, only condensed.
Jeez. All right. So what are you giving Mobile Suit Gundam NT?
Or should we call it Mobile Suit Cash In?
Yeah, I mean, I liked Unicorn. It was enjoyable, but it was also, this is more of the same. So I'm gonna give this 6.5.
Ooh.
Not bad, but you could have done a lot better.
You're just copying what you've already done. Like, we wanted. If you're gonna just copy yourself, why do it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Apparently.
I mean, they did kind of explain some of the finer points about like what new types actually were, but that's all it really did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was different enough for them, I guess, to justify calling it something different. But at the same time, it's like, really, you are just copying the original.
Yeah. Freak 5's having a hard time hearing us. I don't know what to tell you, Freak 5. Everybody else apparently can hear us. Let us know if you can hear us in the chat. I know Bernie can hear us, but someone else.
You try refreshing a page.
The one advantage that Unicorn has over the original Gundam is there's way less misogyny.
Yeah. All right. So 6.5 for Mobile Suit Gundam NT.
And it's pretty too. I'll definitely give it that.
Yeah. All right, Eric.
Sunrise still does hand-drawn animation, and it is amazing.
It is really good.
All right, Eric. Your review for Zoolander.
Zoolander 2.
Yes.
Total fucking
Lord, here we go.
Total fucking garbage. That's all I really have to say.
Oh wow, that bad, huh?
The only good thing about this movie is that they killed Justin Bieber in the beginning.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it gets a 10 then.
Yeah, so it's a 10.
Well, it would be if the movie wasn't terrible.
If it had just ended right there.
Yeah, if it just ended right there, it'd be 10.
Zoolander 2 end credits.
Like he dies. Credits, the whole audience stands up applause.
Yeah.
The good thing about Zoolander was that Will Ferrell was a stage sailor. He doesn't show up until near the end of the movie, and his lines are pretty shit.
Yeah, he was good in the first one. I really liked the first one. The second one's not so much.
Phone. He had that mini flip phone in the original.
Yeah. All right, so what are you giving Zoolander 2, Eric?
I'm giving it a 3, just because Justin Bieber dies at the beginning. Otherwise, I'd say 1.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that would be cool. Like, they open it up, and then it's Ben Stiller and maybe even a small appearance by Will Ferrell, and they both shoot Justin Bieber, and then the credits roll. I think that'd be awesome, man.
And then the whole audience would stand and applaud. I'm telling you.
Hey,
I only watched this movie because I needed to watch a movie for my ABCs of film before the end of or middle of March. I can't remember, but I'm gonna make it middle of March because I think it was around that time I made that declaration.
Yeah.
But I should have watched Zatoichi instead, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
Bernie says she has the show blaring in the waiting room in Arizona, and she says she's not in the mood for earbuds. So yeah, hopefully we're offending everybody around you, Bernie. That we probably are. We offend everybody, so you know. All right, so 3 out of 10 for Zoolander 2, which I fully agree with. All right, do you have a Heiscapade break before I move on from?
No.
Okay, I don't either, and I don't see Eric having a Heiscapade in the thing. So let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
Ah, what is it?
Stinko of the week.
All right, Breakman, you're up.
Oh, me. It's one of my least favorite seasons of the year. Besides being winter, it's also award season.
Oh, yeah. Oscars and Grammys.
Yeah, the Oscars are this Sunday. All year long, all people do are praise and gush over celebrities.
Yeah.
So now let's not only do that, let's give them a whole big award show where we can praise them more.
Yeah.
And
then they could have a big
orgy
orgy with each other afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Freakbite says Frank offends everyone, not Breaking Eric. That's true. That is true.
Oh, and then more celebrities get away with rape.
Yeah.
That's the other excuse for the Oscars.
Oh.
And they'll get up in there and they'll praise each other and stuff like that. Like they'll give standing ovations for like Roman Polanski and shit. Oh, and they did do that like 15 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all. Today also marks, or this week also marks the start of Lent. For those who care.
Oh boy, really? I mean, seriously, Jesus Christ, we could have a whole show on that.
Yeah,
Yes.
we could talk about how stupid Lent is later.
Yes, Eric, or Break. Celebrity worshipped him. Continue.
Yeah. So I mean, and I've talked about that guy whose name I'm not going to mention, like blaming comic book fans for President Trump. No, President Trump is because we worship celebrities in this fucking country.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, look. I used to watch the Oscars a lot, but to me,
I did when I was a kid.
Here's the thing about the Oscars to me. There are great movies on those lists. There's no doubt. Like, I've heard great things about Roma, which I would still need to see. And I do like movies like that, you know, that are very art house type style movies. And, you know, there are other great movies. Black Panther was on there. I mean, I saw like a very diverse, you know, set of movies. But the problem is there are so many underrepresented movies when it comes to Oscars. It's not even funny. Like, for instance,
also animation definitely gets the shit stick.
Animation is one, and horror is another. Like, the last time a horror movie won anything worthwhile was fucking Silence of the Lambs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which it deserved. But
that was like over 30 years ago.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't 30, but it was a good 20, I'm pretty sure. But here's the thing. Yeah, and Dungeon is right. I wait for the Oscar results next day too.
I don't care. I don't like.
I really hope Mamoru Hosoda gets his award for Mirai.
Yeah.
He was a nominee, so hopefully.
Yeah. The problem
I don't. Only one I know who's nominated is Black Panther. I'm hoping Black Panther wins because it'd be about time that, like,
yeah,
you know,
it's got
superhero movie won.
It's got zero chance. I can tell you that right now. Break.
Other than that, and I don't even care then, really, because, like I said, this is just like more patting on the back of the rich and famous.
At least Get Out won quite a bit of awards last year.
Yeah, that I was happy for. That. Oh, actually, that is the last movie.
Also, that reminds me, I want to see Us.
Oh, Us looks so good. Us looks really fucking good, and so does Twilight Zone, man. I'm so excited
and
for
the Twilight Zone being done by Peele, that's cool.
Oh, I know, man. Like, Jordan Peele to me.
The only thing I hate is it's CBS All Access.
Well, there's a little thing called Cody that you might look into, Breakman.
Also, you can just use torrents. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, not that I advocate any of that, but I mean, I'm just saying.
It's something you could do.
Yeah, it's something you could do, you know. But anyways,
plus DC's things coming I think it's already started, but I'm gonna have to get it this year because they've got some good things coming.
Yeah. It's like when Disney finally brings back Daredevil and all those shows, I mean, that Disney's going to be a
They
must
better,
get thing.
because that's. I'll add the stinko if they canceled Punisher, which we knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's funny they canceled Jessica Jones before the season even comes out.
I know, that's so fucked up, man.
It's like, here's season 2, enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay, no more.
Yeah, it sucks because I liked a lot of shows.
God, dude, I love the Punisher, man.
So how long are those shows going to actually stay on Netflix, though?
Who cares? Like, once Disney,
That's a good question.
Once Disney, as long as the price, I said this on Twitter, as long as it's like $6.99, something like that a month, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. Star Wars.
It should be like they should charge what High Dive does. It should be like $5.
Yeah, I agree. If it's $5, it's a slam dunk. I'm getting Disney because I mean,
how much is DC's? I might consider doing that at some point.
I don't know.
Yeah, DC is another one I would consider too, but more so Marvel. So you got Marvel,
There's
fucking
a bunch
Star
of
Wars.
DC movies I haven't seen because I don't know they're out because they don't advertise enough on YouTube.
I mean, it's a
Plus,
no-brainer.
they've got another. They're bringing back Young Justice.
Yeah. Freak5 says in Des Moines there are signs asking people to apply as a piece of shit. He's tempted to apply for 2 reasons, and I'd like to know what those 2 reasons are. He apply as a cop, not piece of shit. I said that, but I'm curious, Freak5, why you would. But anyways, yeah, Oscar season
so
does
there'd
suck.
be one more black cop that isn't gonna kill other black people.
Yeah, exactly. Make a positive change. That's what they all say, Freak5, and they all turn the other way. It's that blue line of silence, and if you don't go along with that, you become an outsider and you get shunned, and it's not a good thing. So anyways, Oscar season does suck. So yeah, I agree. Let me do my stinko real quick.
Freak wants to become the next Black Klansman.
Let's move to
And
Iowa.
let me say, I'm just as guilty of everybody else as celebrity worship. I'll be the first to admit that.
Yeah.
We go to an excess in this country.
Yeah.
I think.
He knows how much Frank likes the police. Yeah, that would definitely.
I care about celebrities so little I don't bother to remember most of their names.
Don't do it, Freak5. Like, honestly, don't do it, man. Like, oh, God, man. When it comes to cops, like, I've seen it personally. I've you know as well as I do, the amount of bullshit that goes on with being a cop is to me is not worth it either way, man. It's not. All right, let me go on to my stinko real quick. Unless you have anything else, Break, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, go.
All right.
Go on.
I failed to mention a couple weeks ago. All right, when I go on this show, I always have like things that I say that a lot of them are not me myself saying them. Like when I say exile, I got that obviously from Derek from Dead Pixel Live. I pick up things here and there from other people and I apply them in the way that I apply them, right? Which I think is the biggest form of flattery. Like when you imitate somebody or you do something that somebody else does, like I think it's a big like kind of homage to that person. Like Derek and I didn't agree on a lot of things, but I did enjoy a long time listening to Dead Pixel, and I picked up things here and there from other people. It's what people in different varying businesses, if they want to be great at what they do, right? They pick up things. And one of the things that I always say on the show, like when we're just talking in general, and I say I'm gonna walk off this show, right? It's a very throwaway line, it's just meant to be kind of funny. I'm gonna walk off the show and become a security guard, and all this shit that I say. A lot of that stuff I got from Irv Brown. Irv Brown, for those who don't know, was a local legend here in Denver. He was a former college baseball coach. He was also a Final Four referee back in the 70s, and then later on he became like a huge radio personality, and he was one of the most genuine, funny guys that I've ever listened to on sports radio or any podcast, and he passed away. He was 83, so he basically died of old age. He lived a great life, and gave me a lot of how I wanted to shape my personality on air. So I just wanted to mention that Irv Brown, a local legend here. I mean, you can look him up. He refereed Final Four games back in the 70s when, UCLA was dominating in the Final Four and stuff like that. So, I just wanted to mention that as my stinko. Irv Brown was, to me, was somebody that I used to listen to for years, and I got a lot of my personality basically from Irv Brown. So when you hear me say certain things like, I'm walking off this show or I'm going to become a security guard, I got that from Irv Brown, and he shaped the way that I wanted to be as an on-air personality, and that's part of what you part of what you get when you listen to me on these airwaves. So I can only hope to be half the personality that Irv Brown was. So that's my stinko of the week. Eric, let's move on to your stinkos.
My stinkos are Christians are still trying to guilt trip people into basically getting out of convincing them to not do an abortion. Says Christian. These are both articles from Pathos. I'm only going to bother reading one. I'll just link both of them. Mm-hmm. But it says Christian group to show 4D ultrasounds in New York City as part of an anti-abortion campaign. In what is being called the largest pro-life effort in history, the Christian organization focused on the family, because of course it fucking is. The idea here is if strangers see an image of a fetus in the third trimester of pregnancy, they'll never want to have an abortion, even though about only 1% of abortions occur after 20 weeks of gestation, and suggesting all abortions are late-term ones is wildly misleading. Par for the course for these kinds of anti-abortion groups.
You know what I would do if I was in this situation, guys? Like if let's say I was a woman and I wasn't ready to have a kid, etc., and they came up with this.
Not only that, late-term abortions happen because the woman's life is in danger.
Yeah, usually that's the case.
Late-term abortions usually don't. 99% of the time don't happen because they have a change of heart.
Yeah,
at that point it's because there's either the baby is not going to survive,
right,
or the mother's not going to survive.
Yeah, Eric just said. I mean, only about 1% occur after 20 weeks. So it's
right.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, and I think 99%. I think 99% of people that have abortions only do so because they've made careful consideration. And these pro-lifers, they don't care about the living situations of these people. They don't care about the fact that healthcare system sucks and being forced to have a pregnancy you don't want in the first place because you've somehow banned abortion or made it just basically untenable to go through one.
The last thing we need is more.
They don't care how expensive it's going to cost. How expensive getting a pregnancy would cost. We don't care if people get bankrupt. They don't care about the child that's born afterwards because they'll do fuck all to support any kind of legislation that would make life for everybody in general easier.
Yeah. Here's the thing, like pro-lifers,
or if they're going to use the stupid foster route, a lot of those foster homes are pieces of shit people.
Pro-lifers are only...
And they still have to put up with the pregnancy, so
Pro-lifers are only in favor of life when it comes to fetuses. They could care fucking less about minorities. Hold on, Eric.
Born and not people who are currently living.
Yeah, they don't care about minorities. They don't care about, human rights. They don't care about immigrants. They don't care about life in general, except for fetuses, which is the weirdest fucking thing to me. But what I was saying, Eric, is...
You're not pro-life, you're pro-fetus.
Yeah. What I was saying is, why, like these laws are stupid, obviously, right? I mean, you've already outlined it, Eric, but what I find weird is, like, if I was one of these women that did need one, I'd be like, okay, show me the fucking picture. Show me the ultrasound. So they see the ultrasound, and I would be like, okay, I still want to get an abortion. So end of story. End of it.
The other one's about how I think it was Missouri. Basically the Satanist temple basically challenged Missouri's abortion laws, which basically require you to get a pamphlet and see the screening and then sign a contract saying that you observe this.
Oh boy, man, that's so
basically,
stupid.
it's a bunch of stupid obstacles that not only are designed to guilt you into abandoning your idea of getting an abortion, but also just make it a ridiculous affair to even put up with.
Yeah. Freak 5 brings up a good point. Holy shit, we should create a campaign showing children who have been abused to get people to quit being Catholic. I tweeted out earlier, like, why is Catholicism still a thing? Like, why is it?
Because they got this idea about being a leader for the church instead of... So basically just going against the actual church and being your own priest is basically what they're saying.
So dumb.
But like, if you're still a Catholic, you still support a core set of ideas that are problematic in and of themselves, maybe for other reasons. But like, it's stupid. It's like there's a point where you just gotta walk away from it all. I think and start over.
I agree. All right, Eric. Any
like sure you believe in God, that's fine. But you know the biggest thing my biggest problem I have with Christianity is most people don't understand what it means to be a Christian. It's like I don't understand why this concept of believing in a deity is tied so intrinsically to it, when the whole point of Christianity is that you're supposed to be a follower of Christ. And regardless of whether or not Christ existed, he's supposed to be a role model for how you're supposed to live your life. And if he's supposed to be this ideal, then why is it so horribly flawed? Because it's attached to the stupid idea of old biblical scribes.
Right.
The hypocrisy around the Ten Commandments is what kills me. Things like thou shalt not kill, but they're all pro-guns. Yeah. So many religious people are very pro-gun and pro-war.
Yeah, or I like the one...
So it's okay to kill? Wait, I'm confused.
Yeah, I like the one
and then they seem to rank them, like, what's okay and what's not. Like, they seem to consider, the one about gay sex to be really high up, but the one about adultery to be really low down.
Oh yeah, the hypocrisy runs deep, man.
Weren't numbered in order according to the Bible. Like they were just
all equal.
Like these are the 10, and like there were apparently more rules, but those were.
I like the one about graven images the best, man. Like if you go into somebody's house that's religious and they have like a little trinket of like a bird, or I don't know if you've ever seen those knickknacks like with little like elephants or stuff like that. They're sinful. They're sinful. They're breaking the commandments. So stupid. Speaking of foster children, the state contacted us a couple weeks ago. The womb donor of my daughter has had another child, and either have the child up at birth or had the child removed by the state, and they wanted to see if we would adopt the child. This is the third time they called. They say that you shouldn't.
The biggest reason I reject something like Christianity is that at its core it's an authoritarian belief system, and authoritarianism is never good.
Yeah, well, we've seen that in our country right now, man. But anyways, all right, let's move on to...
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet! Sweet of the week!
I did get your Stinko, right, Breakman?
No.
I didn't?
No, I'm kidding. You did.
Okay.
You did.
Whew, man, sorry, man. All right, Break, your Sweeto.
My Sweeto is I have a life goal, a new life goal. I am going to move to France.
Sweet. Right on.
And I am going to compete in a new French sport,
lightsaber
dueling.
Lightsaber.
That's now an official sport in France. They are now the greatest country ever, and I will become a Frenchman. That's now my goal in life.
Yeah, let's all move there, man.
And the best thing of all is that saber fighting is basically fencing.
It does look a lot like fencing, but
they've stipulated rules to keep it different. In other words, you have to swing. You can't really like poke like you do in. And I'm trying to just lay it out like in layman's terms, like you do in fencing. Like it's designed to. There are rules in place to make it look like you're kind of fighting in the movie.
So it's basically kendo but with light sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're really wide swings and stuff like that. Not really jabbing.
Well, like it's not like France has a kendo club, and this is the closest thing we'll get.
Yeah. Freak Pie says, "This is Break, Sweeto Frank. How rude of you to interrupt. How dare you?" Dungeon says, so can you go Conan on someone? I'm sure you could, but I don't think you'd get very far, Dungeon. It's
I don't think you're allowed to rip people's heads off.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I always thought
yeah, you can't customize head off, display it in the ground.
And you can't hit anybody in the junk. That's the rules, man. I mean, that's just the rules. I saw a little bit of this.
And you can't hear the lamentations of the women.
The lamentation. I love it, man. That's awesome.
Despite all your enemies.
Yeah. Oh, man. That I love that quote, man. That is, to me, the best. I fucking love that.
And I never saw the entirety of the second Conan movie.
They're good. They're pretty decent.
This is good, but what is best in life? The open steppe, free thoughts, falcons at your wrist, and the wind in your hair. Wrong! Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of your women. That is
Oh, I love that, man. That to me is the best. All right. It's the stupidest best line ever. But all right.
Well, he's supposed to be drunk, so that's why.
Yeah. All right, Break. Anything else on that?
No.
All right, Eric, your Sweeto of the week.
I don't have running really.
All right. Freak5
Well, you
says.
could come with me to France.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freak5 says his Sweeto Tuesday was 1 year anniversary at his job. That's awesome, Freak5.
Well, actually, I do have a Sweeto, now that I think about it, but I'm gonna work it into my blog right now. But I'm doing another retrospective
Oh yeah.
for Castlevania this time.
Oh, cool. Right on, man.
And anybody's free to join me.
That's awesome.
I don't know how
Really
many
cool.
Castlevania games you played, Break, but I've got at least one other person. So
That's really cool. Another episode of Zombies Anonymous will be out, Freak5 says, so check out that. That's cool, Freak5. I'm glad you guys are getting back on that saddle. All right. My Sweeto real quickly. Bernie Sanders announced another run. I'm really happy, but I am dismayed that he's already getting bashed on, and the ageism people are out there like fucking... God damn it. Jesus Christ, man.
So all we need to do is if Bernie's on the verge of death, we just need to get him into one of those Futurama pod things just ahead.
I don't understand this bullshit because people aren't saying the same things about Joe Biden, and Joe Biden's just as old as fucking Bernie Sanders.
Also, Joe Biden's basically useless.
He is. Joe Biden's a piece of shit. I would never.
He's
vote
also
for Joe Biden.
Establishment, so it's
Yeah.
why would he want more of that?
Why? Yeah. Why do we want mediocrity, man? This right now.
Sure, I'll take him if it somehow goes really south and he's the only choice available.
Oh God, man! Please no. I won't vote. I won't. If there's another establishment, I will not vote.
Right now, I'll tell you this: if Mickey Mouse runs against Donald Trump, I'm voting for
No,
Mickey Mouse.
I'm not voting.
It doesn't freaking
No,
matter.
nope.
If Donald Trump is still the president in 2 years, I will vote for whoever the other person is. If Hillary Clinton is up there, I will fucking vote for Hillary Clinton.
I feel you.
Old school Looney Tunes.
And I
Crazy as fuck
kill
Donald
myself after
Daffy Duck
No.
killing Donald Trump and taking his skin, but pretending to be him, but better.
I am not gonna vote if Bernie or Elizabeth Warren or even I'll even accept somebody like Tulsi Gabbard or this guy Andrew Yang. Any of those four, if it's not any of those four, and especially if it's Kamala Harris or Cory Booker or boring ass Klobuchar or Gildebrand or any of those fucking established
Gildebrand, let's play the victim card right away.
Yeah.
That's a great way to start your campaign.
Any of those fucking established Democrats, I'm not fucking voting this time around. I will not.
Yeah,
fucking
the more I
vote.
learn about Kamala Harris, the more I'm like, whoa.
Kamala Harris is a terrible candidate that's using Clinton donors.
She will not be a good candidate.
No fucking way. But that's who the establishment. I guarantee there's two people the establishment wants: either Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. And if it's any of those fucking people that I mentioned, I will not fucking vote. Because fuck that. Fuck the system. Fuck it all.
Yeah, I'm done at this point.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's what it comes down to.
It should have been
that's how I felt for a long time. But Donald Trump's
I
just
caved
gotta
into my
go.
own promise. I went against my own promises to not vote if it came down to Hillary and Trump, but I caved into my fears and voted for Hillary.
Freak Pie says, I don't think Bernie should be running. That's the absolute opposite attitude, man. Bernie Sanders is exactly what this country needs. Killer Mike put it best. He said...
People like him anyway.
Hold on.
Once Trump is gone, I'll go back to not caring.
Yeah. Killer Mike has put it the best of anybody that I've heard out there. We need the exact opposite of Donald Trump. And he said, you don't put out a fire by lighting a match. You put out a fire by throwing water on it. And Bernie Sanders is the fucking water. Regardless of how you feel about him, how old he is, etc., he's the fucking water that we need to put this fucking fire out.
It's better to put out a fire by using dirt.
Well, I understand, but you know what I'm saying. The analogy still rings true, Eric. So,
and I was gonna, and if you're being truthful, they do put out fires with other fires too. I mean, it does work.
No,
that
I
way,
understand.
Actually.
I understand that.
I know. I'm just saying, being technically speaking.
Yeah, but you don't.
This analogy was wrong.
We don't need another fire right now. We need a good, comforting blanket of fucking rain.
Is the
right
idea
now.
that the blowback from the fire is supposed to just go downwind and put out the fire that way, or is it more eats up even more oxygen quicker?
Yeah.
And
they smother each other out.
Yes, they smother each other. I understand, but look, half of the country is already fucking burned. Do we really want to burn another quarter of the fucking country? No. So I'm just saying, Bernie Sanders is the exact opposite of Donald Trump. And here's another thing to think about. If you're listening to this and you don't like Bernie Sanders, why do you not like him? Do you not like him because he's old, or do you not like him because of fucking policy? Because he's the only fucking one, right? Him and Elizabeth Warren, to an extent, they're the only ones that are actually fucking running on policy and not fucking platitudes. All right? So that's what I'm saying. Like his policies to me ring fucking true. $15 minimum wage, free college for all, climate change, Green New Deal shit. What else? And the biggest one for me, Medicare for all. Who the fuck do you think started this whole revolution with Medicare for all, right? Nobody would be talking about Medicare for all right now if it wasn't for fucking Bernie Sanders. So that's all I'm going to say about that. You guys have anything to add?
No, I just my thing is just Trump has got to go. Anybody else, there's literally nobody worse.
Freak 5 says, I like Bernie, but I don't think he can win against Trump. Are you kidding me? You got to be kidding me, man. Here's the thing about.
I think that has to do with the fact that DNC will just sabotage him again.
I agree. I think that's what's going to happen again. But like I said, if that happens, I'm not voting no more, and I won't vote Democrat until they get rid of everybody.
Well, unless Warren takes his place.
It's gonna look. If they're gonna screw Bernie, it's not gonna be for Elizabeth Warren. It's gonna be for Kamala Harris or Joe Biden.
No, I'm saying, couldn't she still run at that point, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. But I'm saying if the DNC screws Bernie, it's going to be for Kamala or Joe Biden. And I don't like either of those candidates. They both suck. They both fucking suck. So, I'm tired of this shit, and we need to go in the exact opposite direction that Trump brought us, right? And I'm tired of incrementalism. Don't give me fucking Klobuchar. Don't give me fucking Gildebrand or Harris or Biden or any of these other establishment fucking Democrats. Fuck that message.
I'm so sick of the Gillibrand type message.
Yes.
They're already talking about my likability and my tone.
Who gives a shit?
Bullshit. You
Policy.
know what? I call it bullshit on that because they've always done that
yes.
to everybody.
You know what?
It's not about because you're a woman. It's what they do.
Vote.
They've done it to men for always.
Vote.
I mean, Nixon, one of the things that killed him, was how he looked. He wasn't, he was sweating in his interview and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one of the big things that pushed Bill Clinton over Bush was he got on television and played a fucking saxophone.
Yeah, yeah. Look,
the celebrity status again.
Yeah, vote. Vote for policy. Look at the policies and see what these motherfuckers are actually gonna do. And anybody that says Medicare for all choice or whatever the fuck extra or whatever they're calling is better than Medicare for all is full of fucking shit. right? We all deserve fucking health care. I could give a fuck about the insurance companies. That's an argument that I've been saying. You're going to put private insurance companies out of business. Who fucking cares, right? They've never cared about you. They rape you every time they charge you all the money that they fucking charge you. They care about profits, and that's all they ever will fucking care about, right? And those people that are, I feel bad for the people that are working in that industry, but if you're working in that industry and Medicare for all comes about, find a different job in that industry, in the government maybe. All right, those people are fine people. I have no problem with it, but I have a problem with corporations. Speaking of corporations, all right, this is where we're gonna break and I kind of
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, go for it.
I'm not disagreeing that there isn't sexism. Like, yes, actually, every woman who goes for president, they're going to have men that won't vote for them. They're going to have women that won't vote for them because they're a woman.
Yep.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But for you to go with, like, oh, they're talking about you complaining about, like, people talking about your tone and your likability. They do that with everybody.
Yeah.
You're not special.
Right. Dungeon says, some of the Democratic contenders make me wonder why they think they have a chance. I tell you why Kamala Harris thinks she has a chance is because she got all of the Clinton donors to back her. That's why she thinks she has a chance. Yeah, but I tell you what, vote. If you're going to vote for policy, not who looks better or who, is likable or anything. Bernie Sanders is not very likable on TV. You know what is likable? His fucking policies, which is what we should all be concerned about. Here's another thing that Bernie Sanders is very articulate when he talks about it. Taxes. We talked about taxes. Effectively, they reduced the corporate tax rate from, I think it was 37% down to 21%, which is a huge decrease. But guess what? It's even more than that. This is going to make you guys sick, all right? I put in the free-for-all in the links, guys, if you want to pull that up. The effective corporate tax rates from 1909 all the way till currently, right? And I'm going to only
I hear some tea going off.
I think that's downstairs. The only one that I'm going to bring, the only thing I'm going to bring up is from 1950, which is about the best economic growth that we've ever had, was in the 50s. And I had another link that kind of proved
the baby boom.
Yeah, the baby boomers and stuff like that. But their effective fucking tax rate after 25,000, right? The normal.
I mean, I'm not saying baby boomer age, not
yeah,
like
right.
They weren't the ones working at that point. It was
right.
People coming back from World War II that were working.
Right, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put this in chat too, so people can kind of grade.
And having those baby boomers.
Yeah, let me go ahead and put this in chat as well. But the effective tax rate in 1950, right? The first $25,000 was you had a 23% effective tax rate for companies. After 25,000, they add a surtax of 19%, and you add that to the 42%. The effective tax rate for anything over 25,000 in 1950 was 61%. And then if you had excess profits, there was an excess profit tax of 30%. So if you, in effect, you were almost at a 90% tax rate if you made over a certain amount of money, right? If you were a corporation. And there never was a time that companies didn't do better and people economically didn't do better than the 50s, right? And those just kept increasing for a while until you got all the way down to, I believe, the late 70s. Actually, no. Trying to look here. The 80s, late 80s, they dropped the tax rate because of the amount of income. And then you go all the way to 2018. There is no effective tax rate for the first whatever amount of money that you make, and the effective tax rate is down to 21%. All right, and that's a misnomer. Do you guys want to know how much money Amazon paid in taxes last year? Breakman, this is going to make you absolutely fucking sick. You want to know how much taxes they paid last year, Breakman? Amazon, the biggest company in the world with, I think it was $11 billion in profits last year. You know how much they paid in taxes last year? Does anybody want to? Eric, you want to take a guess? How much taxes they paid?
Amazon, you
yes,
said?
Amazon.
Like negative 5%.
Yes, absolutely.
Which means that the public is going to have to pay their taxes.
Yes. So Amazon made 11 billion.
I damn it, beat me to it. I was gonna say no.
That should be.
I was waiting for you to.
Illegal.
Amazon made $11 billion in profits last year, and they paid 0 in taxes. As a matter of fact, the American taxpayers are going to pay Amazon a $120 million check from the U.S. Treasury this year. That's what we're giving Amazon back. They have an effective tax rate of, like what Eric said.
And yet they can't afford to pay the workers who work there.
Yes. Negative, whatever it is. It's upwards of I think it's like, if you take that like 129 million, it's like 0.5 or 1%, negative 1% taxes is what those motherfuckers.
They take advantage of some massive loopholes.
Yep. U.S. Steel.
Let's also forget the terrible working conditions the workers
at
Amazon.
U.S. Steel. Here's another one. U.S. Steel is going to get a check back, even though they made a profit of almost $1 billion. They're getting a check back for $303 fucking million. $303 million that the taxpayers are going to have to shoulder. GM. All right, these motherfuckers that got bailed out with the corporate welfare fucking bailout back when the recession hit, those motherfuckers are getting a check for $104 million. $104 million to GM, who makes upwards of $2-3 billion a year in profit. I'm not talking about revenue. I'm talking about straight up fucking profit. So.
If we have a constitutional crisis, there's going to be war.
If anybody talks about socialism with Bernie Sanders, you just point him to this fucking these numbers, right? These are actual numbers. Amazon getting $129 million back instead of paying their fair fucking share of taxes because of, like what Breakman said, the fucking loopholes. Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ,
like they are supposed to be paying taxes. All these companies are, but. Our governments, because
corporations can't be considered people, because if they were considered people, people would be paying taxes. Why aren't they paying taxes?
It's not about that. It's because corporations give money to our politicians to not do anything about loopholes or anything like that, and to give them loopholes.
Yeah, anybody that says that the corporate...
Give them to write laws that allow them to get away with shit like this.
Anybody that's...
Our government's fucking complicit.
Yeah. Anybody that says corporations were getting beat up with their effective corporate tax rate, you just point them to this. And you tell them, look, I'm fucking paying taxes now, and these motherfuckers are getting fucking refunds. This shit pisses me off more than anything, man. U.S. Steel getting a $303 million
Netflix
fucking
is also
check.
paying 0 taxes.
Netflix is getting a rebate back as well. I forgot. I didn't pull up there. They're getting like I think it was. Like,
I mean, it's not in the negatives, but it's still nothing.
Oh no! They're getting money back. They're getting a refund. It's in the negative. Netflix was another perpetrator of this. I just don't have their number, so I don't want to. Say. Here's another thing. U.S. banks made $28 billion in extra profits thanks to the GOP tax bill. So the next time somebody wants to tell you that corporations pay their fair share, you just point them to Amazon's refund fucking check, U.S. Steel, GM, all the U.S. banks making $28 fucking billion extra in profits this year because of those fucking tax cuts. There was a Colorado woman, right, who's used to getting a refund. I think she was used to getting about $2,000 because she had a couple of kids, and you get those tax breaks and stuff.
I'm wondering if I'll get anything at all this year.
You know how much she's getting back this year? She's not getting back a fucking penny. You know what she's gonna have to do? She's gonna have to pay $8,000 fucking dollars. All right, she almost makes poverty level fucking money, and she has to pay the government $8,000. How sick is that?
Money that she can't pay.
Yeah, money that she does not have, and money that she banked on every fucking year. Amazon's
basically killed her.
Amazon is getting $120 million back this year, and this poor woman in Colorado who has 2 kids is paying $8,000 fucking dollars. It makes me fucking sick, and I'm sick of fucking corporations getting a fucking pass, man. It's fucking sick.
And if you're gonna use the argument about universal healthcare being a bad idea, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Dungeon says one thing I can say
Do
about...
your fucking research if you're going to say that shit.
Yeah, Dungeon says one thing I can say about Sanders is that he's been consistent in his grilling of corporations since the 90s or earlier. Yeah, it actually goes back to the 80s, Dungeon. But another one is Elizabeth Warren. She's been big on breaking up the big banks. You know, the fucking... When they got rid of Glass-Steagall, that fucked everybody, man. I was a victim of fucking a predatory loan because of that bullshit, you know. And I lost my house because of it. You know, they raised the rates on me so fucking much, and I couldn't handle paying, like, I think at the time, like, I started out with, like, I think it was like $800 a month in mortgage, and by the time I couldn't afford it anymore, it was like $1,700 a month. $1,700 a month on the fucking shit money I was making back then. No fucking way, man. Those loans were terrible. Freak5 says there was one policy that the insured had died. The policy was canceled. 5 years later, the children noticed that the spouse of the insured bank's account was empty because we were still charging them. And it is legally allowed as long as they refund the money within 30 days of being told about the problem. Jesus Christ, man. It's all programmed, so it has to be programmed. Yeah, anybody who has sympathy for any of these fucking insurance companies or these big-ass corporations, man, I don't know what to fucking say. What else are we to do but to sit here and vote these fucking dirty politicians out that get these big, huge donations and, you know, all this type of shit? Trump is exactly the problem in this country. It's not him. He's a symptom of the problem, but we need to get that. We need to treat that fucking symptom. So what I'm saying is vote for policy. Don't vote for personality. Don't do that.
Don't just vote for policy. Vote for the policy that it actually makes sense. Like, if you're like a pro-lifer, you're voting for policy, but you're voting for very bad policy.
Yeah.
In fact, it's probably the only policy you care about because you're obsessed with the fates of the unborn.
Yeah, I'm like, seriously, look at these numbers. U.S. still $303 million that we're giving them back, and they made over $1 billion in pure profit last year. Are you fucking kidding me? You know what drives me even crazier? Look how much, you know, let's bring this back to gaming, right? Activision Blizzard just cut, what, 800 fucking jobs or whatever they cut?
Yeah, 8%, so that's 800 workers.
800 fucking workers. 800 fucking workers got laid off.
Still making,
so
making a profit means cutting your business.
Even though they made record profits, according to Bobby Kotick. Record profits, but you're cutting 800 people out of the loop, even though you're making, I think Kotick's rate was $30 million. That's another problem, don't you think, Breakman?
What do we have to do to convince people to not give in to greed? Convince them that money is ultimately worthless?
Oh, God, dude, I don't know. But Breakman, we talk about this a lot. The fucking rate at which CEOs and COOs make. You know, do you think that's, you know, that's part of the problem, isn't it?
I think it's the biggest problem of all everything.
We got a bunch of monkeys and crows and corporations making decisions or rather they're convincing the politicians to make decisions on their behalf.
Yeah.
And because they all want the shinies.
You know what the deal is?
Exactly. That's why that's why these loopholes remain open and such like that.
And you know
what? They talk about like we've talked about the corporate tax rate, what companies are supposed to pay.
Yeah.
And that is the way it's supposed to be. But even though there's a law saying it's this way, we have our Congress saying no because
I think it's time.
Politicians saying no because they're getting money.
I think this is something that Republicans and Democrats alike can agree with. And tell me if I'm wrong, guys. We need to vote out every single politician, whether they're Democrat or Republican, that is on board with these nasty fucking... Anybody who doesn't want to get rid of the loopholes for corporations, we need to vote them fucking out immediately. Immediately. You know, you don't...
Why isn't there a president that is taking their money but doing not what they want? Like, I'll take your money, but I'm not going to do what you want.
Yeah. Freak5 says Trump only wanted to be president because instead of having to pay off politicians, he is now probably getting paid off by other corporations. I think that's partially true, but that tax... I told you guys this months ago when they were going through this bullshit with this new tax rate, that it was just a pilfering. It was a pilfering of the American people, and it was to profit big-time politicians and big-time corporations. And sure enough, I just gave you guys fucking proof of it. So now,
I'm more convinced.
No, those are totally different things. Like, this is a company using loopholes to get around it. That has nothing to do with like their tax rate.
I'm more convinced.
Their tax rate.
They're going against they're going around their tax rate. They're using loopholes.
Well, right.
To not pay their tax rate.
Right.
I'm more convinced Trump. Sorry, can I talk?
Those two things are different. I was talking.
They're not different,
No,
Rick,
you're
and I'll
not
tell you
allowed
in a
to
minute.
talk because I was talking.
Go ahead, Eric. What were you saying?
I just wanted to get the point out. It's like, I'm only convinced Trump became president because he did it to avoid paying taxes.
Yeah. Well, look, even as early as or as late as 2017,
and to help his buddies get out of paying taxes too.
Yeah. Look, as early as 2000 or as late as 2017, that the effective tax rate for corporations making from 15 million to 18 million was 30 over 18 million. It was 35%. They dropped it now. There's no prerequisite to how much your tax rate is. It's just a flat 21%, which is absolute fucking horseshit, man.
And the problem is, like, with these companies, like you just talked about, they're not paying those tax rates. They're paying well below those tax rates.
And you don't think all of those companies are using those loopholes? Every fucking one of them is. Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you, Break, man. Like, that's, if they would have said, let's just do a flat tax rate of 21%, which I think is still horrendous. I think it should be 40, 50, maybe even 60, 70% for corporations, and that would stimulate this economy like no other. But let's say you agree that 21% is fine. Cut every fucking loophole out. Every single one. You just pay 21%.
And like I said before, you mentioned it briefly, like the CEO pay, like these companies are all paying top heavy. It didn't used to be like that. The split between the CEO before, I think, the early 80s, the split between the CEO and the people below was a lot smaller.
Yes.
And it's just grown and grown through the 80s and 90s and the 2000s and such.
Capitalism's a fucking joke, man.
Why
it's
is
a
a desk
joke.
job suddenly more worth paying somebody this much money versus a worker who breaks their back and probably needs it through all the medical expenses they get because they're working harder than the other?
It's because our country is broken right now. It's being run by crooked politicians.
Yes.
And who are taking money.
Yep.
And
my job is essentially slave labor.
Yeah.
We've seen it many times, like money out of politics and term limits. Like, these people stay in there, and the reason they want to stay in there is because they're getting more and more kickback from
Yes,
it's
Breakman.
If you look at how much money these people are making before they become politicians, and then when they leave, or in most cases stick around.
In other countries, working in McDonald's actually gives you a decent wage.
Yeah. Well, now, I mean, with a $15 minimum wage, that'd be, I think that's a great step in the right direction, but we need to do more. We need to do way fucking more. Way more. That's why we need somebody the opposite of Trump. He basically opened up the floodgates and let the robbers, Trump has let the fox in the hen house, and that's what's going on, man. Everything's being pilfered. The Treasury...
He's basically a useful idiot.
Yes. Freak5 says, I did have a thought recently in one of the debates. Trump supporters cheered him when he said he was smart for using loopholes to not pay taxes. So shouldn't that make the welfare recipients they think are using loopholes smart too?
No, because they assume those are all black people.
Oh, yeah.
So they can't help them.
Yeah. Well, anyways, guys, we're running past, dude. We got to get out of here. I got to eat and stuff. But
food quest time.
Yeah, food quest time. All right. Do you have?
I guess there was a sweeto I had today. We had like a little pizza thing going on at work today.
That's awesome, man. Free pizza is always good. That's always good.
All right. It's from a pizza place I hadn't really considered going to before, but I might just go there whenever I see a movie and swing by there after the movie's over and get that for dinner.
That's cool, man. All right, let's do plugs. Let's start with you, Breakman.
Follow me at break_man on Twitter and at RPGrinders on Twitter. And don't send me all your love emojis.
I don't know where B hate wank came from.
I got a challenge for everybody out there that's listening. Send at RPGrinders. It's especially at RPGrinders. Send a bunch of GIFs, just random love GIFs. Just send them to at RPGrinders. Let us know you're out there. That's fucking classic, man. All right, Eric, your plugs, please.
I will plug the sites I've written reviews for. I've got a new one up this week. Actually, I think I might got two. Let's just double check. But one of them is the Earth Defense Force 5.
Cowbell break. Go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
Review for Earth Defense Force 5. And yeah, I never did get the other one. I was gonna do the missing, but that never happened this week. But maybe tomorrow. But you can find that on totalegn.com. Otherwise, you could look at my other reviews on BostonBastardBrigade.com, VogNetwork.com, or HonestGamers.com. And if you like what I've written and you want to support me and for continuing to do this, well, I essentially do it for free. But if you feel like I should deserve compensation for it, you can go to my Patreon and give me as little as $1.
Yeah, there you go.
Because car payments, like I have to put for like $140 a month into my car payments, and that eats a lot of my check, like after bills and everything else. So that could help me. I could use that money to buy the games that I need to continue writing other reviews from places that don't give me stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's, you want to get paid for what you do, man.
Like, I don't know why my relationship with Atlas has changed so drastically.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Eric?
Or NISA, for that matter.
Anything else, Eric?
I will also plug Lent being stupid. Just fuck Lent. That's an unplug more, but I will plug the Atheist Challenge. I dare any Christian listener to take the Atheist Challenge.
Yeah, there you go.
But I highly doubt we have Christian listeners, but maybe we do.
Oh, I'm sure we do, man. Trust me, I've run into
or any religious listeners.
Yeah. All right.
Like you take the Atheist Challenge, and not only does that mean not going to church and not thinking about God for like a month or whatever, but it also means getting involved in the atheist community and actually understanding what we're all about and why we're angry.
Yeah. All right. I need to do my plugs. We got to get out of here, Eric. More cowbell. Freak 5 says for you, Breakman. Also, he says, Eric, you need to go hate wank. So I think that's the name of the show, Hate Wank.
I don't know why he thinks I need to hate wank.
I don't know, man. I'm just reading chat. Don't kill me.
You need to punish yourself.
Yeah. I'm going to plug, in the description of the show, I'm going to plug, if you're listening on the archives, there's a new goal for Mom 2. We passed the $2,000 goal. We need to get up to 5,000. So, and everybody that's donated, it's greatly appreciated. I mean, there's been people. I mean, the outgoing support for Mom 2 has been really, really cool. Mom 2, if you're listening, we love you and hope you get better. I know you're in the hospital right now, but I will put that in the description of this show, or whoever's going to put this show out. I'll go ahead and give you guys the link, and you can shorten it through tinyURL or whatever. I don't know, but thanks to everybody that's donated and who is going to donate to this campaign. Let's just keep it going. Mom 2 is and she's getting better day to day, so let's hope for the best on that. You can follow me on Twitter at Frank Branches. I've been a little more active lately, so send at RPGrinders any love advice that you need, male, female, whatever. Hate wanking or not, how to hate wank. I'm sure Break will give you great advice on that. He's got plenty of experience, so exactly. Make sure you do that. And what else? Go see Captain Marvel when it comes out. It looks really good. So that's all I got to say. Anything else, gentlemen?
Yeah, just one more thing.
A little bit of cowbell at the end there. I want to thank all the chatters. I know Slagar was in there, Bernie was in there, Apricot, Droop Fruit, Freak5 Chaos, a good friend, Freak5 Chaos, Commander Root, Host _ Giveaway, Positivity Bot, Dungeon was in there, a good friend Dungeon Buster, thank you so much, Slow Cool, and Sneaky Ado. I like that name. That's a new one. New chatter. Thanks for joining, Sneaky Ado. Feel free to comment and stuff whenever, you know. Freak5 says, people's pets getting pregnant that didn't want puppies or kittens, giving away pets for free or cheaply cuts into the breeder's profits. I have no idea what that's all about. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining. Stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we're out. More cowbell. Oh man, that was cool. All right, sorry Freak5. I didn't, you know, sometimes I get kind of caught up in the show and I can't read every single comment. I try though. So, anyways, all right, chatters, thank you guys so much. You guys, what make the show go round, and anybody on YouTube, thank you guys for listening. If you're listening after the fact, same thing with Twitch. We love the Twitchers out there, so thank you guys so much. I'm gonna end the stream. You guys rock.
Lube up that Gundam.
All right, Freak5 says I took spring break off and was thinking about visiting my friend in college. You should, Freak5. We could spend more time. It'd be cool. Then I could use you as a ride because I don't have a car. Later.